then you do drive it really hard into turn number 15. And again, same thing as in 12. You got to turn it fast, and you got to jump back on the gas as hard as you can. It's a really tricky part of the course, not particularly fast, but sure is fun to watch them go at each other through the stadium part. I'll be your eyes and ears right here. And when I let them go under the EchoPark Bridge, well, that's when Alex Hayden will pick them up.
Thank you, Pat. Good afternoon, everybody. Turns 16, 17, and 18 here at Circuit of the Americas is a continuous right-hand, completely flat turn. It circles the iconic Kota Tower, which stands 251 feet in the air. The nuances of turn 16, however, the drivers, even though it's a continuous right, will have double apex in there, meaning they're going to have to turn the steering wheel just a tad more each time. Once they get through that section, turn 17 will be another tug of the right steering wheel. Turn number 18, more of a quick right-hand kink as they make the way around here. The steering wheel here in 16, 17, and 18 never actually straightens up as it makes this big right-hand bend. Once off turn number 18, however, they start to descend downhill, and that's where they're going to downshift and stand on the brake pedal to get set for a 90-degree left-hand turn, which is turn number 19. Unlike over in the S's that Doug Turnbull described with the track limits, there are no track limits here at this end of the race course. Drivers can use every available piece of asphalt, whether it's painted red, white, and blue, or the regular black asphalt. Heck, they can even use the grass if they wanted to, which has been worn out after all weekend competition. And there's a big dirt patch right to driver's left at the apex of turn number 19. Same thing. Once you exit that corner, drivers then will use the entire runoff area over the red and white rumble strips. Then there's about 50 feet width of paved runoff area before a gravel trap can greet drivers if they get out of shape. Drivers, however, on the hammer on the exit of turn 19 will go way out onto that asphalt strip out there before yanking the car back to the left on that straightaway to set up for the final corner of this 2.4-mile circuit, and that is turn number 20. Beyond 90 degrees, you stand on the brakes, downshift to first gear, and hope you can get off that corner cleanly, because that leads you back onto that main straightaway and the only long straightaway on this 2.4-mile layout.
And Alex Hayden, I cannot tell you what a pleasure it is for Mark and I to be able to take that handoff from you as the cars hit the front straightaway here. Of course, if you're listening and you're saying, why are we hearing Alex Hayden this week? We know we'll hear him next weekend at Phoenix. Well, Alex is joining us here this weekend on the Performance Racing Network. And Alex, we are thrilled to have you. Whether it's MRN or PRN, the biggest thing we get to do is bring NASCAR to the fans every week.
I could not agree more. It's a privilege to be a part of the Performance Racing Network here this weekend, having lots of fun, and we look forward to a great race here today.
As they exit turn number 20, Alex alluded to this. Again, they're going way wide. They have asphalt. They have the red and white rumble strips. Then there's a little patch of asphalt that's painted green. They're beyond that. They go onto the grass, and now they've worn a hole in the grass, a dirt patch. And now we see they've actually had to fill in that hole with a little bit of dirt to smooth it out. And by the end of the day, they'll keep digging on that, and there'll be a little bit of a bump in there as they exit turn 20. And then, of course, then make a beeline for the start-finish line. Today, we've got 95 laps. A year ago, 68. Now with a shorter course, we have 95. Stage 1 will end at lap 20. Stage 2 at lap 45. That will leave 55 laps to lap 95. And the end of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. Pit road speed 40 miles per hour. Pace car will run 50. And that is our view from the turns, brought to you by State Water Heaters. When you need a water heater, make sure you get a State. Visit statewaterheaters.com to find a professional installer near you.
We work hard to keep our cars looking great on the outside, but engine components need our attention too. That's where you can trust Z-Max Micro Lubricant to disperse carbon buildup in your engine and fuel system to keep your car or truck running at its peak. By soaking into the metal of your engine, Z-Max Micro Lubricant improves performance, extends engine life, and reduces emissions. Trust the many customers who've said, "Thanks for saving my engine." Find out more at zmax.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Peter. He loves his motorcycle. What he doesn't love is wind. Which is ironic, because wind is a big part of the whole wind-in-your-face motorcycle cliche. But nobody ever tells you how relentless a strong crosswind is, or the cliche wouldn't exist. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get a quote to see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Getting set for opening ceremonies here at Circuit of the Americas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
If you have a chance to make a difference in a kid's life, you need to take full advantage of that opportunity.
For those kids to know somebody has their back, somebody is caring about them, thinking about them when they feel like nobody is.
Anything that I can do now to support Speedway Children's Charities, I do, because I've seen the work firsthand.
We owe it to children, no matter where they come from.
Unfortunately, there is no end to some of the terrible atrocities in our world. Speedway Children's Charities can feel really good that we are getting the most good out of every dollar that's given. At Speedway Children's Charities,
our mission
is simple.
Help every child we can.
Because all children
deserve joy
and hope
and love.
And if one...
Guys, we are back here. It's been a little bit, but hey, NASCAR racing here in Texas. Let's get back into it, guys. Been busy. Welcome, Charles. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. We're here at EchoPark Automotive in Austin, Texas today, bringing you this race. Play-by-play action. Getting ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll change the screen as soon as it gets closer here, so I got the PRN here in the background.
Some of those folks later on. Everybody cannot wait.
Hope you're having an amazing day.
South of the border. Then we go on to Chicago, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, and we wind up the road racing this season on the Roval Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Roval. Very exciting. And look, we do have some road course specialists here in the field, and a lot of people wondering, if you win a race, you make the playoffs. Last year, Shane Van Gisbergen, his first full season as a NASCAR driver in the Xfinity Series, won 3 of them, Mark. We have 16 available playoff spots in the Cup Series this year. Does he get to occupy one of those based on one of these road courses?
He certainly has circled the calendar for Kota, Mexico City, Chicago, and Sonoma. And Watkins Glen will be his last chance before the playoffs. So he's got 5 shots at this that people are going to go like, if he doesn't get it now, he may get it then.
Yeah, it is very true, and we don't know. You know, we open the season, we talk a lot about this. 2 super speedways, Daytona and Atlanta Motor Speedway, and now we have the road course here at Circuit of the Americas. Next weekend, they go to Phoenix Raceway with an option tire.
Phoenix.
Mark, I don't know that the drivers and teams in the Cup Series are going to see maybe a non-wild card in the schedule until we get to Las Vegas Motor Speedway coming up 2 weeks from now.
I was just going to say we get back to normal racing, if you will, for the first time this season at Las Vegas. A lot of guys look at really the season starting then. They hope to survive the first 4 to finally get to a good 1.5-mile track.
Get it, guys.
They know they have a bit of a playbook to work with.
Yeah, for sure. Mark, Texas is divided into several different regions, whether it's the coastal plains, the piney woods. This is Texas Hill Country, and hearing from our view from the turns with our turn announcers up there, 130 feet up to turn 1, we start going downhill. The undulation here at Circuit of the Americas, unless you see it here in person and buy a ticket to sit in these stands, you don't always get the full grasp of that.
I went out in one of the Toyota Pace cars this morning to get a feel for that. And it really is kind of cool how they built this racetrack into the natural ups and downs of the land here in Austin.
Yeah, it is really cool. We've got a lot going on here at Circuit of the Americas as the fans are filing in and getting into their seats. We're about to take you trackside
about
for
to get it going,
ceremonies.
ladies and gentlemen.
Start this race day right.
Got time to get your drinks, popcorn, beverage of choice, favorite snack.
Which are very exciting as well. So right now, let's take it down to the front straightaway. We go trackside right here at Circuit of the Americas.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as Civil Air Patrol's Apollo Composite Color Guard, commanded by Captain Alexander Hertzler, presents our nation's colors.
There we go.
Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome 12-time NCAA All-American swimmer and host of Outkick's Gains for Girls podcast, Riley Gaines.
Riley Gaines.
Please stand, remove your hat, and bow your head with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather today with gratitude for your mercy that we do not deserve and the sacrifice of your Son who was sent into earth to conquer death, hell, and the grave. We thank you for this day and the unity that brings us together as we prepare for the start of this race. Lord, we ask for your protection for all drivers, staff, families, and fans alike. Grant each driver wisdom and safety at every turn. Heavenly Father, bless President Donald J. Trump, his cabinet, and all of our leaders that they may seek your guidance in all decisions. If this is done, we will never be wrong and America will be made great again. Instill in us humility and grace so that others will see you in our daily lives. May today and every day lead us to the ultimate finish line, meeting you at the pearly gates. We surrender the activities of this day and of our lives into your mighty hands. God bless America. God bless the great state of Texas. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome back from the San Antonio Police Department, Officer Rebecca Vermeulen.
Rebecca Vermeulen.
And you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last, who brought stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Belt it out.
Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Go.
And that puts
Start your engines.
America's coming up next. The command of fire engines for the EchoPark
Fire
Automotive
engines
Grand Prix.
fire.
Motorsports isn't complicated.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Who do you think's going to win? Let's start that poll. Who you think is going to win? Leave it in the chat. Let us know. All right. So this is my first stream of NASCAR this season. There's been a little bit of changes. So they've changed the website up. Still trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to show. I think there's a track view, like an outline of the track I can show. So let me get that going as soon as I can here for you guys. All right, guys. We're getting there. They're still getting everything ready on the TV broadcast. We are still at a commercial break, so we're not missing any action yet. So hopefully here shortly they'll have us. Let me try to make this as live as I can get it.
Of the Americas. As a reminder, our winners on the road courses a year ago at Circuit of the Americas: William Byron, Kyle Larson at Sonoma, Alex Bowman at Chicago, Chris Buescher, the upset winner at Watkins Glen, Kyle Larson again in Victory Lane on the Roval.
Hendrick Motorsports winning all but one of the road races last year, Mark. Now, I don't know that that is an indicator of what is the best organization when it comes to road course racing. Last year, Christopher Bell, I feel, had the fastest car. Adam Stevens had him on a 2-stop strategy. William Byron was on a 3-stop strategy, and it was that 13-second pit stop for Christopher Bell that caused him to have to drive through the field because they had to completely top off his car with Sunoco racing fuel. Ran just a couple of laps short of running down William Byron.
I think Christopher Bell is one of those underrated road course drivers. He, along with Chris Buescher, Ross Chastain, the only drivers to finish top 10 3 out of the 5 road course races a year ago.
And Chris Buescher has been the strongest driver on road courses since the advent of the next-gen car. And last year, he finally got to get that win. And it was a great one because he went toe-to-toe with Shane Van Gisbergen the final lap at Watkins Glen International. An exciting race, which you got to hear on the Motor Racing Network, and so much fun to see him muscle his way around one of the best in the world to get that victory.
Very unique race because after getting, out-muscled, and I think that's a great word to describe the action between Buescher and SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen headed straight to Victory Lane, not to punch Chris Buescher in the mouth, but to pat him on the back, going like,
pat him on the
back.
back.
A heck of a race.
Yeah, it was. Mark, as they go around this 2.4-mile circuit, again, a mile has been cut off of it for this NASCAR weekend. The cars staying closer together. The cars more laps in front of the race fans, which is great. You heard our turn announcers, Rob Albright, Doug Turnbull, Pat Patterson, and Alex Hayden talk about whether there are or are not track limits on this course, and sometimes that can be confusing. If a driver goes outside of a turn and overshoots a corner or whatever, goes off the course, no problem. You just get back on and keep going. Sometimes that's the faster way around, but track limits come into play in a whole different way.
If you make the track longer, it's okay. You make the track shorter, not okay. So if all 4 tires are on the other side of these rumble strips, the red and white strips on these turns, as you cut inside, if they're completely inside that, NASCAR is going to call you in, you'll have a stop-and-go penalty. And, again, I think it's a simple concept. If you keep it, for me, it's a simple thing. Make it longer, okay. Make it shorter, no bueno.
Mark, that might be the most succinct way anyone has ever described track limits, to put that in a way that a lot of people can understand. And when Mark talks about that stop-and-go penalty, that's actually out there on the course. If you make the stop-and-go penalty, you can stop in turn 13 and then go again, and you've served your penalty. If you fail to do that, well, you're going to have to take a longer trip down pit road.
And again, as far as making the track longer, you'll see these guys go way off the racetrack. Alex Hayden talked about it, turn 19. We see it in turn 20. They will go all the way past everything, clean into the grass, and they'll turn the grass into dirt before it's all over.
Very exciting. Well, the drivers are sitting in their cars. They're about to fire things up. So let's go trackside for the command to start engines at COTA.
Race fans,
start
give a
your
big
engines.
welcome to Jack Quaid. He stars in the upcoming action thriller Novocaine, but today he's here to fire engines for the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix.
Here we go, guys.
It's time for those most famous
Let's see how he does
in motorsports and action.
Drivers, start your engines!
The command has been given. Let's crank them up.
Bum, bum, bum. Here we go. Firing up.
Now the starting.
Let's go.
By Hunt Brothers Pizza.
Starting 37th, Cody Ware, the Arby's Ford. Rolling off 36 will be Austin Cindric and the Discount Tire Ford. The Freightliner Ford of Josh Berry starts 35th. 34th will be Ty Dillon, the Seabest Chevrolet.
We'll get this live here in a second, guys, behind me. So
starts 33rd.
I'm waiting for them to make some changes. We got some changes coming to our stream.
And the Chumba Casino Toyota of Riley Herb starts 31st.
30th on the grid, Cole Custer, the Haas Bonanza Ford. Then it's the Group 1001 Chevrolet for Justin Haley 29th. 28th, Ryan Priest, the BuildSubmarines.com Ford, the Brestree Chevrolet of Austin Dillon, 27th. 26th, Brad Keselowski, the Castrol Ford, and it's Ryan Blaney, 25th, in the Menards Duracell Ford. The Fastenal Ford of Chris Buescher goes 24th. 23rd, Joey Logano, the Shell Pennzoil Ford, moving up to row 11 on the outside. 22nd starter in the Rate Chevrolet is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and 21st in the Ally Chevrolet, Alex Bowman.
Dane Smith will start 20th in the Title Max Ford. The DeWalt Toyota of Christopher Bell rolls off 19th. Chase Briscoe starts 18th in the Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Noah Gregson will start 17th in the Rush Truck Center's Ford. Michael McDowell in the Gainbridge Chevrolet starts 16th. 15th will be William Byron, the Raptor Chevrolet. The Red Bull Chevrolet of Connor Zillage will start 14th. 13th, Ty Gibbs, the Monster Energy Toyota. A.J. Allmendinger starts 12th in the Celsius Chevrolet, and Denny Hamlin starts 11th, the National Debt Relief Toyota.
Then taking the green flag 10th in the Love's Travel Stops Ford, it's Todd Gilliland to his inside. Going off 9th, Ross Chastain, the Busch Light for the Love of Texas Chevrolet. Kyle Busch will start 8th. He's in the Rebel Bourbon Chevrolet. Then going off 7th, Kyle Larson, the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. Outside of row number 3, in the WeatherTech Chevy, it's Shane Van Gisbergen. Starting 5th, Daniel Suarez, the Freeway Insurance Chevrolet. Moving up to row number 2 on the outside, 4th on the grid. In the Delaware Life Chevrolet, it's Carson Hocevar. 3rd, Chase Elliott in the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. And now the front row, it is all 2311 racing on the outside. Bubba Wallace in the Mobile One Toyota. And on the pole for the 10th time in his career, the 2nd time at COTA, and for the first time in 2025, Tyler Reddick, the Beast Toyota, is speed 88.095 miles per hour.
And that's your starting lineup for today's EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix.
And the starting lineup presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. At Hunt Brothers Pizza, we love racing, and we love pizza. Visit huntbrotherspizza.com to find your next pizza.
Hey, Joey Logano here, the driver of the number 22 Hunt Brothers Pizza Ford Mustang. What can a 3-time champion do by the end of this ad? A pit stop and grabbing a hunk of pizza at the closest convenience store near you. To find a location, visit huntbrotherspizza.com.
This is Kyle Petty for EchoPark Automotive. As you might imagine, I know a thing or two about cars, and I'm here to tell you about a whole new way to buy a car, truck, or SUV. Did you know that EchoPark Automotive has over 95,000 5-star reviews? On top of that, every car that EchoPark Automotive sells goes through a
Welcome back, Kenneth. I'm glad you're here, my friend.
Make sure that it looks
yeah,
and
it
drives
has
like
been
new,
a
so
minute.
You leave happy.
So, had a lot going on. Not a lot of events for me to cover as easily, so absolutely. Thank you for stopping in, Kenneth. Glad you're back. Hope you're doing well. We're doing well. Just finished basketball season with my son, and we're getting ready to start spring football season. So, but hey, we're going to get back started at trying to pump out more content, not just NASCAR, but some other stuff as well.
From Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, and you're listening to PRN.
Yeah, we'll keep bringing in the PRN on the stream. Hope you guys are having a great day. The weather's good. The weather looks good here in Texas, so they shouldn't have any stoppage besides occasional fender bender. You can't have NASCAR without a fender bender, right? Alrighty. This will all populate here shortly. Looks like we might have a race tracker too. They get this race tracker up, I'll get it on the stream as well, guys. Allmendinger. You went to Daytona. That's awesome, my friend. I was in Florida. I was in Orlando when Daytona was going on. That is awesome.
Let's send it down to pit road and find out who our pit reporters think might wind up in progressive victory lane. We'll start at the exit to pit road. Brett McMillan.
Well, I like the guy that's starting on the pole today. He won here 2 years ago, and he's pretty good on road courses. I'm going to go with Mr. Reddick.
All right, Heather DeBoe, what say you?
Well, I thought a lot about this, and I felt like it was going to be really difficult to pick, but I'm going to take that low-hanging fruit, and I'm going to pick Shane Van Gisbergen to go to victory.
SVG.
I love it. We asked you to pick a winner. Wendy Venturini, you had it yesterday. How about today?
Well, I think I'm going to make it a repeat weekend because I am choosing a former winner at this racetrack. Now, he qualified third, and interestingly enough, Chase Elliott told me after practice yesterday he was able to push the limits on all areas of this racetrack. He was learning exactly how far he could go, and because of that, I'm choosing Chase Elliott.
Again, we want to remind you at 2.4 miles, we've taken 1 mile off the circuit here at Circuit of the Americas, and that means more racing, 95 laps total instead of the 68 from a year ago. Stage 1 again ends at lap 20, stage 2 at lap 45. So again, 20 laps and 25, the final stage 55 to get us to our total again of 95 laps. Pit road
95.
Speed 40 miles per hour, pace car 50. Our NASCAR starter today is Greg Harris. The pace car driver behind the wheel of that Toyota GR Supra is Jesse Doliveux.
And those GR Supras look great.
I want a GR Supra, man.
For the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. And Mark, as they make their way around the racetrack, so many different twists and turns. I mentioned this is Texas Hill Country, and Rob Albright, they're climbing the tallest one in front of you right now.
Yeah, and it is, in fact, the tallest incline in all of NASCAR. They approach turn number 1 from the flat straightaway, and at the start-finish line, the next 4 seconds, they're going to climb 13 stories at the entrance to turn number 1. It's 120 degree, just a little more than a quarter of a circle, left-hand turn, fairly flat. Then they'll begin to go downhill, so they'll go all the way from fourth to first gear, then
uphill,
back up,
downhill.
hit second gear and into third. When they crest that hill in the right-hander 60-degree right-hand turn, which is an off-camber corner, it leans the wrong direction to make the drivers very uncomfortable. If they can get through this part of the racetrack, they'll then look toward turn number 3, and that's where taking over the call will be Doug Turnbull.
And the turn 3 area begins the S's, where the cars go left, right,
right.
And then they set up for a hard left-hander at turn 6A. The trick to the S's, staying on course. As you heard Mark and Brad saying
That's
earlier,
right, stay on
drivers
course.
who try to take a shorter route with all 4 tires on the wrong side of the rumble strips get a stop-and-go penalty on the course. The big trick at 6A and 6B is they are hard left-handers added to this course when it was shortened, and we saw a couple of crashes there yesterday. One thing to note on my side since I last spoke, a driver from yesterday's race, Anthony Alfredo, is up here assisting the number 3 Richard Childress Racing team, standing right next to me. He's one of their extra spotters watching on.
Oh, wow, he's a
voice
spotter.
Voice of the driver in a driver's ear. It's good to have the voice of the racing guy, Pat Patterson, as they exit 6.
Thanks so much, Doug. Happy race day, everybody. The cars are right in front of me right now, and it's really fun watching them come out of 6B. There's a straightaway there, and they come down and make a hard left-hand corner, race uphill to what will be turn 13, a kink for 14, then 15, again, a hard bend around to the left. It's a tricky part of the racetrack. You're not going that fast, and when your car starts sliding around, this is a good place to pass people. It's one of my most fun places to watch people pass. The one thing I can tell you about this place, folks, because of all the paint they put down on all of this racetrack, red, white, blue, green, it looks like a video game when you're standing up here on this giant tower that I'm on right now. It really does look like a video game. It is so much fun to watch the cars race here. Don't you think, Alex?
Absolutely. It's a kaleidoscope of color up here as we look down from 251 feet in the air on top of the iconic Kota Tower here at this Circuit of the Americas. As the cars work their way through this portion of the course, the key word here is patience. It's continuous right-hand bends through turns 16, 17, and 18. You break your patience and get too much on the throttle, you're going to lose traction of your car. Your competition's going to go driving right on past you. After that, it's downhill. You heard Rob Albright talk about, you go 13 stories in the air. Well, you got to get back down at some point. They gradually do that through the rest of the circuit, but the biggest drop is between turns 18 and 19, where the drivers will have to stand on the brakes and downshift and make their way through that left-hand 90-degree corner and then into turn number 20. It's a beautiful day to go racing under the Texas sunshine. The wind is blowing here, but it is a perfect day for NASCAR Cup Series racing.
And again, a big crowd is here. The weather could not be
Weather
better,
is great.
and
I'm 6 hours away.
get to race. It just is.
It really is, for sure. And I want to give a shout-out, Mark, if I may, to all of the people with Speedway Motorsports who make this race happen. This is not a Speedway Motorsports-owned racetrack, even though this is one of Speedway Motorsports' events. And from all of the speedways involved throughout the company, from Sonoma to Las Vegas, of course, Las Vegas getting ready for a big weekend in 2 weeks, to Texas Motor Speedway, to New Hampshire and Charlotte Motor Speedway, and
guys.
all of our racetracks out there, Bristol Motor Speedway, they send people here to make this COTA event happen, many of whom who have been living in Austin now for at least 2 weeks. Now, Brian Hammond, who is the executive director of this event, he lives in Austin, and he has made this his home for the last 4 years. But there are a lot of operations people, marketing people, track people, so many different people who make this event happen. A big shout-out to them. They put in a lot of work.
Let's go, guys.
We love the
Let's
guy
go boogity,
because
boogity, boogity.
the greatest parking passes we get all season long because of him, and we thank him so
Here's
much
the
for that.
overlay of the track
Again,
above
with
me up
all
here.
that
You can
help
see it here.
from Speedway Motorsports and, of course, the regular folks here at COTA as well.
Yeah, for sure. So the field has been given one to go. We're going to go to green this time. Again, 95 laps here in the EchoPark Automotive 250. And, Mark, we don't know what we're going to see, but we're all about to tell the story with this great PRN crew we have today.
Got to remind you again, 16 of these 37 starters have won a Cup Series road race. Among them, that adds up to 36 victories. Chase Elliott, number 1 among the active drivers at 7. Kyle Larson at 6, Kyle Busch at 4, A.J. Allmendinger, Tyler Reddick have won 3 apiece, 2 apiece from Christopher Bell and William Byron.
It could be anyone's game here today at Circuit of the Americas for sure. We don't know who's going to go to victory lane, but we know we're going to be excited to tell the story of just how they get there. After 95 laps, maybe a few more. You never know when you can get an overtime finish in a race like this, but we'll have to wait and see. Standing up high on top of the 220-foot tower here at Circuit of the Americas from Goldsboro, North Carolina, Alex Hayden joining us here today. And, Alex, they're coming by you under pace laps for the final time.
Side by side, you've got that black and lime green Toyota pole sitter Tyler Reddick to driver's
Hear 'em.
left. His
Let's
teammate,
go, baby.
11. The white, red, and black Toyota with Mobile One emblazoned across the hood.
Who you guys got?
Wallace, they're ready to go. The lights are out on that.
Lights
Toyota
are out.
Pace car, we're ready to go racing.
We're ready to go.
Our Supra now heads for pit road.
Here we go, baby.
Bubba Wallace take the field slowly out of turn number 20. They've got the cars pointed straight.
They're straight. Green we go.
Bubba Wallace gets hit from behind.
Already they're
man.
They begin to climb up the hill. Cars going to the left. Cars going to the right. It is Ross Chastain all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
They're fighting it.
To pick up spots. In front of him, Chase Elliott gets spun around. Also collected is Todd Gilliland. He's trying to refire. So is Chase Elliott.
Wow, they're coming. Oh, they're spun around.
Elliott spun for the 3rd position as Tyler Reddick is down through the S's through turns 4 and 5 right now with the lead. He's bringing with the Bubba Wallace in tow. 3rd place is Carson Hocevar, and here comes Shane Van Gisbergen. Looking to the inside of Hocevar, but he'll get back in line at turn 6A. They go through the short chute to 6B with Reddick in the lead.
Reddick now pulls out, and he'll hammer down to turn number 12. He's got about a 4-car lead over Bubba Wallace. Hocevar is right there, as well as Shane Gisbergen and Kyle
SVG,
Busch.
baby.
Rocket through turn number 12. Now climb the hill up to 13. Reddick pulls that wheel over to the left. He'll make this corner easily. Bubba Wallace just a little bit back from him, not very far at all. Hocevar about 8 car lengths back as they get into turn number 15 now. Here's Reddick carefully working his way off of turn number 15.
This, see if
back
this
up
comes
through
up
the
the right way
gearbox
now.
to the EchoPark Bridge.
They make their way to the
Come
corner.
on.
We're talking about Connor Zilich had some sort of an issue. He fell off the pace, went all the way to the back of the field. So Connor Zilich with an issue. Meanwhile, the race leaders head for turn number 19. Tyler Reddick with the lead. He's got a car length and a half on Bubba Wallace. Another 5 back to Carson Hocevar. They stand on the brakes.
They don't have the field working for us, but that's the track.
Lap 1 will
overlay.
be complete this time by as they come out of turn number 20. Tyler Reddick leads Bubba Wallace, and it's Carson Hocevar and Shane Van Gisbergen, but we have a problem with one of our favorites. Let's go down to Heather DeBow.
And Chase Elliott, after that contact, he came over the radio and said that he thought that the toe link might be broken. So the team is communicating right now about whether or not he wants to stay out on the racetrack. And
He's missing part of the front right end fender well.
They're going to try to change the toe link on pit road and then try to get the wave around. Brett McMillan.
Connor Zilich coming down to pit road. He was involved in a little contact there. Crew is at the ready for him to come in. It's a long trip down pit road here. They are on the wall waiting for him to arrive. As he pulls in, they've gone around to the right side of the car. They're going to change right side tires. They're around there doing that. They have to lift it up because they're flat on the right side. They're having trouble. They're bringing the jack around. They're bringing a second jack around. They're trying to get that under. Finally, they get the car jacked up. They got the right side tires on now. And it looks like they're
getting ready to get back out.
And change all four. They're going to change all
Might
four
as well.
tires on Connor Zilic to try to get him out. The advantage here is the laps are so long, it doesn't look like he's going to lose a lap. Finally, they drop him. They bring the other jack back around, and he's head back out, but it was flat tires on the right side.
Race leaders make their way through turn number 17 right now. Tyler Reddick up front. Second continues to be Bubba Wallace. Shane Van Gisbergen up to position number 3. Kyle Busch is fourth. And then a healthy gap back to a great battle in turn 17 for the number 5 spot. That's where Kyle Larson is.
Here's an overview of the field here.
Of Daniel Suarez. They set up for turn number 20.
Here is Larson looking inside of Suarez as they exit the corner. Also right there, Carson Hocevar, leaders across the stripe, back up to turn number 1.
Just 2 laps in, and already several unrelated incidents on the racetrack, relegating a couple of favorites to the back. Race leader is Tyler Reddick. He'll lead by 3 car lengths entering turn number 2 as he's being closely pursued by his teammate.
And that teammate is Bubba Wallace, who started in the second spot and is holding that. Shane Van Gisbergen.
There's a rundown of the field here, guys.
Knocking down the third position. Who's gotten up into fourth place? Yes, it's the 8 car of Kyle Busch as Tyler Reddick enters turn 6A and B right now. That wounded car of Connor Zilic is in the stadium section, already over a half lap behind as the leaders pull into turn 6B.
It is a 4-car breakaway, and then it is a long way back to 5th place running Suarez right now. He's under attack from the Kyle Larson car as they work their way down here into turn number 13. Here's the leader once again making that right-hand corner in pursuit. Bubba Wallace, half a car length back. They drive into 15. Reddick out in front as he pulls that car over to the left. Bubba is right there and shows him the nose right there. Almost tried to pass for the lead.
He's not going to be able to do it as they flash underneath the black and white bridge. It's still Tyler Reddick pulling the field behind him in turn 17. Bubba Wallace's red, white, and black Toyota dogging the tire tracks of his teammate and race leader Reddick. Under braking at turn number 17, Reddick will go over the rumble strips. Bubba Wallace elects not to. He stays in his tire tracks.
Bubba Wallace right on the back bumper as they hit the final corner, turn number 20. It's a left-hander. Tyler Reddick now pulls away by about a car length and a half as we go back down to pit road in Heather DeVoe.
And another car that received damage during that incident was Denny Hamlin. He actually was trying to avoid the wreck and hit the right front on the 54 of Ty Gibbs. So that front right fender is kind of flapping in the wind right now. The team is ready if he needs to come in if that tire goes down. But right now, no real concern yet for the 11 as we have a wreck on the front stretch.
And the leaders right now, as we try to sort that out, it's going to be the 10 car, the 10 machine that is turned around there. That's Ty Dillon. The leader is Tyler Reddick as he pulls the field into turn number 6A right now. The leaders are single file there. Bubba Wallace still in second. Shane Van Gisbergen in third.
Watching the leaders now make their way down.
Here's the run through the board here, guys.
With those 4 cars in 5th spot.
Who you guys rooting for?
You find Daniel Suarez. He's also made a little bit of ground up even more on the 5 car of Kyle Larson. No side-by-side battles here to speak of as they race through the stadium part of the course. Fans, though, cheering their drivers on. Here comes Reddick down to the bottom of turn number 15. He'll make that left-hander. Once again, it's Reddick out in front of Bubba Wallace. Then it's Van Gisbergen is right there along with Kyle Busch.
Shane Van Gisbergen seems to be biding his time right now, matching the pace of the top 2 Toyotas. Another 12 car lengths back to Kyle Busch. Pretty good racing, however, just outside the top 10. As a matter of fact, from 10th on back, that's where Chase Briscoe looks in the
mirror. You got an issue. I can't tell who's got somebody smoking really bad.
Beginning the lineup on the back door. Ty Gibbs is there. Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, last week's winner, also in that mix. Everybody trying to fight.
I'm not sure if it was a tire or what.
Things to catch you up on. Ty Dillon had help. You don't spin on the front stretch in a straight line unless you get help. Austin Cindric did not like all the room that Ty Dillon took in turn 20. He turns him on the front stretch, and we just saw Busch. He's running forward. He went way beyond the racetrack,
somebody off
went
the
out
course.
into the grass about 15 feet, still able to hold on to that race car, bring it back onto the racetrack, and did not lose a spot.
Action early here at Circuit of the Americas. We are just 4 laps complete, working lap number 5. Noah Gregson goes off the circuit. He gets going again as we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Here's a field run through. Looks like Ty Dillon was the one that went off the course. His wheel looked like it was locked up. So his wheel was locked up on his front right. It was causing it to smoke a lot.
Circuit of the Americas alongside Mark Garrow. My name is Brad Gilley. Joining us in the turns, Rob Albright, Doug Turnbull, Pat Patterson, and Alex Hayden. On pit road, Wendy Venturini, Heather DeBow, Brett McMillan. Our top 10 look like this: Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch and Daniel Suarez, Kyle Larson, Carson Hocevar, William Byron, Michael McDowell, and A.J. Allmendinger. With a lot of action on the racetrack. We'll come back with more from Austin right after this.
Wow, guys. We still don't have a red. He was able to get off the track. Dillon was, so. Oh, he was able to get back in the pit. Surprisingly, that front right was locked up and seized up on him. Like, just, he had a cloud of smoke behind the car driving it on that tire frozen up. So, yes, sir. Let's see what happens. Currently in the lead, we got Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, SVG, Kyle Busch, and Daniel Suarez. 1 through 5, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like, I'm not sure how it works, but I've noticed that the track has a overlay of the where the guys are at, but it's not showing up today. I'm guessing that the Austin track, they couldn't get it working.
eBay stage number 1 at Circuit of the Americas as Tyler Reddick continues to lead Bubba Wallace. Wallace, however, will have to serve a penalty for a track limits violation. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love. From Austin, Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having an amazing day today, guys. Great day for racing. Who's your favorite drivers? Let us know in the chat. Love to hear from you. Kimbronator here. We're back at it again, guys. 2025 season. Who do you got? Who's going to win it all? Who do you got through? It's a long season. It's like baseball. There's a lot of races to keep up with. So be sure to hit that like button if you're new here, guys. Let us know in chat if you're new to the stream. Love to hear from you. So don't forget, if you catch us on the post, be sure to leave us a comment on first time watching. Let me know where you're watching from, guys. In the current lead, we're through 6, and you can see our leaderboard here to my left. Well, my right, up here, you can see everything. And if you're watching from a mobile device, you can pinch to zoom in to see everything here. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger there. A little bit less going on when I switch to that view, but we'll pull it back here so you guys can see overview of the track above me here.
14 to go in stage 1 of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas. Let's take you through a full field rundown brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza.
There we go, guys.
Racing and we love pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app. Tyler Reddick is your leader from the pole position. Shane Van Gisbergen has taken over the second spot. Kyle Busch third. Fourth is Daniel Suarez. Kyle Larson fifth. Sixth, Carson Hocevar. Seventh, William Byron. After the stop-and-go penalty, Bubba Wallace is now blended in the 8th spot. 9th, A.J. Allmendinger. 10th, Michael McDowell.
Up 10 positions since the start of the race. Alex Bowman running 11th. 12th is Chase Briscoe. Christopher Bell 13th. Ty Gibbs is 14th. 15th is Ryan Blaney. Reigning champ Joey Logano running 16th. Ross Chastain down to 17th. Denny Hamlin is 18th. 19th is Riley Herbst. Ryan Preece is 20th.
21st is Chris Buescher, Eric Jones 22nd, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd, Brad Kozlowski 24th, 25th Austin Dillon with Cole Custer 26th, John Hunter Nemechek 27th, Justin Haley 28th. Now we have Chase Elliott in 29th and 30th, Todd Gilliland.
Running in 31st, Austin Cindric. 32nd is Josh Berry. 33rd, Zane Smith. Noah Gregson, 34th. 35th is Cody Ware. Connor Zilich, after having to come in for right side flat tires, is down to 36th spot. And 37th, Ty Dillon being shown one lap down after getting spun on the front straightaway.
Again, that full field rundown brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza. We still have
brought to you here by Kimbronator.
Stage number 1. It's been an eventful lap 1, turn 1. Chase Elliott gets run into. It looked like Ross Chastain got up there in a big jumble of cars and might have got into Chase in turn 1. Again, that just as the green flag fell. Denny Hamlin's been damaged. Bubba Wallace has had a stop and go. A lot of great things. Kyle Busch played lawnmower for about 200 yards and somehow kept the car straight and onto the racetrack again without losing a spot. A little bit of everything early on here at Kota.
Let's pick up our leaders who are in front of Alex Hayden.
Making their way up off of turn number 17, Shane Van Gisbergen has run
SVG.
down Tyler Reddick.
SVG, baby.
Right in the tire tracks. And
he's good on these tracks.
Under braking, now back through the acceleration and up the gearbox. Reddick trying to stay at the front of the field, but Shane Van Gisbergen has other ideas.
They come flying out of turn number 20 up to the outside of the racetrack. Van Gisbergen right there in the tire tracks of Tyler Reddick. They chase across the stripe. We've got 12 laps left now in stage number 1.
After qualifying a disappointing 6th, Shane Van Gisbergen, he's still got it. He's still the road racer extraordinaire. He's right on the back bumper of Tyler Reddick. They go downhill in turn number 2. Back up through the gearbox. Third gear now as they head to 3.
The 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen definitely looks faster than Reddick as he's catching him here in the S's. They're both to the left, then the right in turn 4, the left again in turn number 5. Van Gisbergen right in the tire tracks of Reddick, and now he's going to pull to the inside of turn 6A to pass him, and Reddick lets him by.
Back and forth.
New leader, at least for now, Shane Van Gisbergen, but Reddick tries to cross him over. They are too wide in 6B.
Oh, could be door to door. No, Reddick will jump back behind SVG now, takes the second spot. That white car out in front is Shane Van Gisbergen's got the lead now. A tight corner there in turn number 12, now up to 13. Reddick is right there ready to pounce if Van Gisbergen makes a mistake. Kyle Busch, too, is right there in the third spot. Then it's Daniel Suarez. Then it's Kyle Larson, Carson Hocevar, and William Byron. Those cars kind of in their own group. Here comes Reddick once again with a challenge to Van Gisbergen, not be able to do anything with him through the bridge.
Not quite yet. Kyle Busch is on the prowl. Kyle Busch has run down both of these leaders at the front of the field. And Kyle Busch, for the moment, not at all happy with running in the number 3 spot. He's going to look to the inside under braking at turn 19 for the second spot. Tyler Reddick drifts wide.
Looks like SVG's pulling out a little bit on him.
That brown and black Chevrolet in turn number 20.
Coming out of turn number 20 again, this is a hard, more than 90-degree left-hand corner that brings him to the front straightaway. Kyle Busch able to take away that second spot from our pole-winning driver, Tyler Reddick. And we are joined in the booth right now by our good friend from Toyota, the group manager motorsports at Toyota Motor North America.
Reddick drops to 3, too.
As now a Texan. Great to come down here to the capital city. How you doing?
Yeah, it's nice to be able to just drive down to a track and be a few hours away from home, so it's nice to have the local ones.
So the transition to Gazoo Racing, tell us about that. You guys have kind of rebranded things, and now that's how the racing program is going to be viewed from now on.
Yeah, so we decided to make the switch this year, rebranded everything that was Toyota Racing over to Toyota Gazoo Racing. We have been working on it over the last few years in some of the lower series and some other things we do, but it was time to join the global motorsports family with Toyota. Toyota Gazoo Racing was kind of founded in 2007 by our chairman and master driver Akio Toyota, and it's just been a great program. They have a great history within WEC and a lot of Le Mans wins, WRC, Dakar. So to add our motorsports prowess to that global name now is going to be great, and we're looking to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I love saying Gazoo Racing, number 1. The signage around the racetrack looks amazing, number 2. But also on the track, you had great qualifying at Daytona. Last week, Christopher Bell put the Toyota Camry in victory lane at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Today,
who watched Atlanta? Did you guys watch Atlanta in chat?
Here at Circuit of the Americas. It's been a strong start to the season, Paul.
Yeah, it has been. Having 4 in the top 5 at Daytona. Obviously, everybody wants to have that top spot, but congratulations to William Byron on that one. But to show strong there and the win in Atlanta was great. For us to be here with 2311, and Tyler's a great road racer, and Bubba, who's really been working hard at it, to see him be right there on the front row has been really amazing.
It also looks like Legacy Motor Club adding a little bit of potency to the Toyota racing program this year. John Hunter Nemechek coming into this race, one of only a couple of guys top 10s in both races, had a great finish at Daytona along with Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, Legacy Motor Club has put in a ton of effort last year and over the off season to really alter their program to get better. It's a big task to learn new tools, to have new team members, to have all of those pieces coming together in a very short time frame, and they learned a lot last year, and they're putting it together this year, and we're expecting some great things out of them. We're excited to see them go.
Paul, I was really happy to hear about the announcement that Toyota recently made about one of your development drivers. Corey Heim has done so much in the Truck Series, running for the championship again this year, but he's going to get a whole lot more seat time in both
the
SVG
is almost out to a full second lead on the rest of the pack.
Corey's been just great. He's a great young man. He works very hard, doing great things for us in the Truck Series. The time he's been able to sit in the Sam Hunt racing cars and the Xfinity Camrys has been great. Yesterday, he was proving that early, and then had some help in one of the turns there and wrecked his day, but he was off and running, and we're excited about the future for him, getting some more starts at Sam Hunt this year, as well as a few starts with 2311 and an additional non-chartered car is going to be great.
For sure. Well, Paul Dolshaw, the Group Manager, Motorsports, Toyota North America, thank you for your time here. Thank you for everything that Toyota does for NASCAR. And thank you for introducing Gazoo Racing into the...
Gazoo Racing, guys.
Thank you guys for doing such great coverage of these races and keeping us all informed, so I appreciate it.
Paul, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
All right, so we reset the top 5 for you. When we come back, we'll do some more lap by lap at Circuit of the Americas.
Lap by lap.
Our top 5,
here's a rundown, guys.
Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, and Kyle Larson.
SVG is 1 second and 1.35 seconds out in the lead. That 88 car is moving through. He performs well on these kind of tracks, guys. I think these are his bread and butter. Still got Busch and Reddick and Suarez, and Larson is in 5th. Kyle Larson. The 5 car is in the spot 5. The irony of that, huh?
To the Americas, will he wind up in Progressive victory lane? We still have 83 laps to decide that. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. From the Lone Star State, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Performance Racing Network. Got 12 of the first 20 of stage 1, guys. We're 12 laps in, 12 of 195 total laps. Sounds like this is going to be a fast race. So, if you need to get up, we'll keep it live here. If you need to go somewhere, take us with you, guys. Stream it on your phone. And if you're on a mobile device, like I said earlier, so you can zoom in and see all the places where everybody's at. Who you're rooting for, what spot they're in. Looks like nobody's out of the race yet. Everybody is still in. All 37 drivers. We'll keep it live on the PRN radio here with us, guys. So we'll keep all of this here for us. so you guys can see it. Kick it back over here.
Back in Austin, Texas, and Shane Van Gisbergen
SVG.
starting to stretch away from Kyle
He is
Busch.
stretching it
Kyle
away.
Busch, Rob Albright is stretching away from pole sitter Tyler Reddick.
And you know, with the terrible year that Kyle Busch had last season, we forget how good a road racer he is. He's just maintaining pace with the race leader Van Gisbergen, third, and falling back into the clutches of the fifth-place car, and that is, of course, Daniel Suarez is the machine, the pole sitter.
As Shane Van Gisbergen gets to turn 5, we see that battle with Kyle Busch there and Tyler Reddick, and also the fourth-place machine of Daniel Suarez just coming through the beginning of the S's. Now the leader, Shane Van Gisbergen, about 5 car lengths ahead of second-place Kyle Busch as they go through turn 6B. A battle shaping up here in turn 6A, though, is A.J. Allmendinger all over Carson Hocevar. We'll pick that one up as those close quarters have gotten closer.
Yeah, Allmendinger about a car length off of Hocevar in that blue number 77. They race their way down here into turn number 12. No change up front with the top 4 or 5 there. William Byron also in jeopardy now. Hocevar putting some heat on him in turn number 13. That's a right-hander. That's going to open up the door for AJ to pull even closer to Hocevar as they race down into turn number 15. Here's AJ trying to go to the outside. Hocevar smartly moves up and blocks his advance, but that's a good battle as they head to the EchoPark Bridge.
Yeah, William Byron's car beginning to fade just a bit here the more we put green flag laps under us. He's now fallen back into the clutches of Hocevar, who in turn is under attack from A.J. Allmendinger. Those drivers now staying on the brake and downshift here in turn number 19. Looks like William Byron able to get through the corner much better, and he's going to gap the other 2 by some 5 car lengths.
We have 6 laps to go here in eBay stage number 1 at Circuit of the Americas. We are about 3 to 4 laps away from green flag pit stops. But we're going to take that battle back up the hill. Carson Hocevar is still being chased by A.J. Allmendinger.
And Hocevar has to make a decision here. Is he going to try to block? No, he opens the inside lane. Maybe he learned a lesson last weekend. A.J. Allmendinger takes that spot away, but Hocevar tries the crossover move in turn 2.
And let's look at that under the bridge out of turn 2 and 3 and into the S's there as Carson Hocevar right behind the A.J. Allmendinger machine there. That battle for 7th place. Just ahead of them is William Byron, who has a healthy lead over Allmendinger for that spot. But Allmendinger starting to pull just a little bit away from Hocevar there as Hocevar looks inside but gets back in line as they come to turn 6B.
A little further up, it's a good race here between Kyle Larson and the 77 car, the 98 car of...
so this green bar above me, guys, is the flag. Green flag, red flag, caution.
Suarez now, who is right in front of Kyle Larson.
So it changes colors. We're under a caution for yellow, red, stop.
Sitter Tyler Reddick, who has backslid just a bit here in the closing laps of stage number 1. Into turn number 16. Shane Van Gisbergen has 7 car lengths on second place Kyle Busch. Another 25 back to that trio of cars of Reddick. Then you've got Suarez and Larson as these drivers wind their way down the hill and into turn number 19. Looking at everybody staying on the racetrack at the moment. Nobody electing to peel off the track and come to pit road, at least not this time by.
Not that Shane Van Gisbergen is worried, but the last lap, Kyle Busch took a half second off the gap between the 2. As we take a look at it again, has it shrunk even more? Yes, by 1/10 of a second. Leaders back in turn 1.
Kind of have to wonder, Mark, though, if Van Gisbergen is not playing just manage the gap play. We see that a lot in racing. That as I say that, Kyle Busch begins to narrow the margin.
And for sure, and I definitely that thought occurred to me too there, Rob, as Van Gisbergen leads it through turns 4 and 5 the S's right now. Not going too far out of bounds over those rumble strips. Kyle Busch about 5 car lengths behind. Van Gisbergen won these stage points after a rough start.
15 laps of 20 laps stage 1.
Leader now makes his way back onto the backstretch. He'll head down here to turn 12. Again, watching that battle for the 5th spot. Suarez back there under attack by Kyle Larson. Larson only about 4 to 5 cars behind him and continues to pull right up in these tight corners. Here's the leader, Van Gisbergen, back over to the right now, about 6 car lengths back to Kyle Busch, another 8 to 10 car lengths back to Tyler Reddick. Reddick is going to be in a pretty good battle here with Suarez and the 5 car of Kyle Larson here pretty fast. They're in turn number 15 A good battle also a little further back with Alex Bowman getting it after it with Buescher.
Alex Bowman, guys.
You have to wonder if we reflect back to the pre-race show, Wendy Venturini talking about the new Goodyear tire here at Circuit of the Americas. This
Circuit
is a long
Kota.
run.
We're at Kota, guys.
We saw in the practice sessions yesterday, and a lot of these drivers are beginning to skate around this circuit. A lot of them struggling to keep the car underneath them. However, the ones who are successful in doing that are at the front of the field now on the front stretch.
4 laps to go this time by in eBay stage number 1. You still have Shane Van Gisbergen out in front of Kyle Busch, but he's not getting away from Kyle Busch, is he, Rob?
He absolutely is not. Tyler Reddick, meanwhile, in that third position,
right
is
there
falling
with
farther and farther behind. There are a couple of guys trying to close on here before the end of the stage. Suarez and Larson. Let's go now to pit road and Wendy.
Carson Hocevar is down on pit road. He's going to take 4 tires Sunoco fuel. For him, he's just trying to gain track position. Brad Keselowski also on pit road at the same exact time. Alex Bowman was reeling in the leaders and gaining on track time right there. Alex Bowman has worked his way into the top 10.
There they are.
On pit road, all solid stops on my end.
Just had a pass there for that 5th spot. Once again, Kyle Larson made his way around Daniel Suarez now back up front. It is Van Gisbergen that will work his way over here to the right-hand side of the racetrack with turn number 13. Kyle Busch is
That's
right
Sunoco
there.
fuel.
Approaching turn number 14 now. Busch is about 6 car lengths back on the leader. Van Gisbergen working his way hard left-hand corner now back through turn number 15 as he races up here to the EchoPark Bridge.
2 masters at the front of the field of conserving tires the longer we run. Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch. They have a healthy margin of 75 yards or so on third place Tyler Reddick. Here they come back to turn number 19. Van Gisbergen keeps the car more on the asphalt, does not cut the corner as much. They make their way into turn number 20. Top 3 are going to stay on the racetrack, but more cars on the pit lane in front of Wendy Venturini.
Ross Chastain is going to be one of those cars making his way down this long section before they stop.
Watermelon Man.
Ross Chastain is in pit stall number 1 while several other cars decide to come down pit road. Chase Briscoe's one of them. Carson Hocevar while we're continuing to wait for Ross Chastain.
We have Daniel Suarez coming down pit road right behind Kyle Larson. Suarez says that he's going to tighten up that car just a little bit. He actually asked him to be quiet for a little while. He wanted
3
to
laps
better.
into the end of the stage,
slow
too.
on the right rear of Suarez. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson's going strong. He's out of here. Suarez is out. Heather.
And William Byron was this, and he was complaining about an issue with the brakes, so he was having to adjust them with the bias. And then also in was Christopher Bell, Wendy Venturini.
Todd Gilliland was in for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. They were continuing to gain some
Sunoco
ground.
fuel. I love
check
saying
the tire
that.
situation on my end of pit road because most of the crew chiefs were concerned about blistering. I'm going to see how they come off these cars. Heather DeVoe.
Also in was Denny Hamlin. His complaint right now, he's just a little bit tight, but they did 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Brett McMillan.
We just had a collision of my end of pit road between Eric Jones and the number 38 car, Zane Smith. Smith was
they didn't
trying
show
to
it on
lead.
TV.
Eric Jones was trying to come in, and Eric Jones actually pinched Smith. Smith actually ran into the side of Eric Jones. Finally, Eric Jones finishes his service, and he leaves pit road. We'll see if there was any significant damage when we talk to the crew.
Race leader Shane Van Gisbergen will come off the racetrack. Kyle Busch will follow him. They'll stand on the brakes, get to pit road speed. The top 3 now with Tyler Reddick all headed to pit lane.
Wow.
So again, they have decided they're going for the race win, not the stage points. We have a penalty for Michael McDowell's team. He will have to have a pass-through. Right now,
wow,
let's go to Heather DeVoe.
And Kyle Busch just came into his pit stall. He told his team that his worst corner right now is corner 15, and then he's a little bit tight, so they're going to free him
corner
up
15.
just a touch. Brett McMillan.
4-tire change for Shane Van Gisbergen. No changes at all for him outside of the tires. He gets an 11.1 second pit stop. Tyler Reddick was looking forward to getting some new rubber. He felt like that was going to make the difference for him. They're finishing up his pit stop. He peels off. Meanwhile, A.J. Allmendinger also getting 4 tires and a full tank of Sunoco fuel. He peels out.
In turn number 1, Shane Van Gisbergen comes off pit road with Kyle Busch literally on his back bumper trying to pass him now in turn number 2. They'll head down that straightaway.
And they're trying to get Travis.
They wouldn't let him by.
As the leader
SVG's like fierce.
But let's pick it up here. Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Busch, nose to tail. The third car behind them is Chase Elliott. We'll see how he shakes out there as far as when they pitted and when not. And right behind them is Tyler Reddick. Van Gisbergen with Kyle Busch dragging.
He's like, no, you're not passing today on me.
And head down the halfback stretch there.
And we'll continue to watch those cars as they come down to turn at number 12. Van Gisbergen out in front of Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. A little bit further back there, Tyler Reddick is with this group as well. It's another 8 or 10 cars back to Kyle Larson. And, of course, then you've got Van Gisbergen again over here to turn number 14.
Refresh this, see if this comes up now.
Van Gisbergen works down into turn number 15. Behind him, Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. Those cars now up through the gearbox. They race their way under the EchoPark Bridge.
With these green flag pit stops, the deck has been shuffled quite a bit. Right now, Bubba Wallace is being shown as the race leader. He is all by himself. He's going to stay on the racetrack in turn number 20. A huge gap back to Joey Logano, who also stays on the track.
Great strategy from crew chief Charles Denike with Bubba Wallace keeping him out after he actually had to serve a track limits penalty and dropped a few spots for Joey Logano. An opportunity for some more stage points as well as the leaders head up the hill. 1 to go in eBay stage 1.
And Logano might as well try to pick up some stage points, but because he and his 3 Penske Racing teammates have not been good at all. None of those numbers have shown at all in the top 15 this afternoon. Hanging in there as he heads toward turn 3.
That's a great point there, Rob. In fact, the Penske cars had led a bunch of laps in the first 2 races on super speedways. A struggle today. To put it in perspective, Joey Logano just now get through turns 4 and 5. Bubba Wallace, the leader who has stayed out also, is getting through 6A and 6B right now. So a healthy lead for the 23 car. But who's in third? A car that's already pitted, and the one that's been up front a bunch today, and that is Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah, we watch him across the short chute now over to the drag strip, the back stretch, as we watch Bubba Wallace. He is all the way over here in turn number 13 now, very smoothly working his way. It's a long way back to Joey Logano in the number 22 Ford. Then you have Van Gisbergen just now getting to turn number 13, along with Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. And Kyle Larson is there with Tyler Reddick. Here is Bubba Wallace, though, underneath the EchoPark Bridge.
He makes his way into turn number 16, does race leader Bubba Wallace. He'll be very ginger on the throttle on the older Goodyear Eagle tires here after most of the field has made pit stops. Back end will dance with him just a bit, under braking in turn 19. Bubba Wallace gets through their corner very cleanly. Back through the gearbox he goes on the short straightaway to turn 20, and a green and white checkered flag awaits.
So Bubba Wallace now working his way out of turn 20 will head for the start-finish line. He will become the 5th different winner of a stage here in the 2025 season. 5 stages, 5 different drivers have won them. Joey Logano will finish stage 1 of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix in the 2nd spot. Shane Van Gisbergen will get 3rd. Kyle Busch 4th. 5th, Chase Elliott. 6th will be Tyler Reddick. 7th is going to be Kyle Larson. Then at number 8, Daniel Suarez, William Byron 9th, and 10th, A.J. Allmendinger.
Stage 1 brought to you by eBay. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you'll find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love.
Still getting a
All right, here's the overview so you can see everything. Here's the layout. Here's all your drivers. Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano, SVG, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott. Top 5 currently. So, all right, got the interactive track going here. It's showing the top 10. We'll click on it for the full field. Who did not make it? All right, ladies and gentlemen, they're at a break. You haven't missed anything yet. We're fixing to start stage 2. Stage 1 is complete. Getting ready to start stage 2. I've got the interactive going. It wasn't working on Chrome. I had to switch to Firefox to show you the interactive view. So we've got that going now. rest of the race. Hopefully this keep working here. Not have any issues. They just overlaid it on like Google Earth or something, or Google Maps. How about that, guys? Not bad looking. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you got? We got the PRN radio. They're at a little break. We're at the caution in between stages 1 and 2.
Pit road, but there's a good reason for it, Heather DeBow.
That's right. If you remember back at the start of the race, Chase Elliott was spun out and he received damage.
CeeLo is live too. He's been covering, I think, all of them.
He was able to hang on to it, and he just told his team that he can get around everywhere on the racetrack pretty well, except through the stadium section. He can't get that left rear to stick with that broken toe link. And at one point during the race, they were telling him that he had the fastest car on track, and of course he finished 5th. So the team right now going to work to replace that toe link and then put some tires on as well for him, but he was happy with the car otherwise, considering the damage.
Thank you very much, Heather. And by the way, that toe link was damaged in turn 1 of lap 1. Chase Elliott, the inaugural winner here at Circuit of the Americas, literally drove 20 hard laps with that car, was able to finish the stage, claim some stage points, Mark, but obviously you cannot go all the way to lap 95
That's
with
true.
the bent part, damaged part on that car.
As he made the turn in on lap 1 in turn 1, he was actually turning, so his car, the driver's side, is exposed to the other drivers coming up into turn number 1. It looked like Ross Chastain got in there a bit hot, and the impact looked like it came right on that left rear tire.
Yeah, it is a big grab for the land up there, right there at the top of the hill. In fact, Rob Albright, I know you've been up there for all 4 years. You've seen a lot of different things, and I think one of the most unique things is after they go through the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone, it seems like there are about 15 different lines a driver can take through your section.
And that is absolutely accurate. The thing is, these guys don't have an opportunity to practice entering turn number 1 in a pack. It just simply doesn't happen during the practice periods. They're all single file. They can choose any line they want. But when you're trying to make up some positions on the initial start or the restart, there's a risk-reward there that is it worth the gamble? And in Ross Chastain's case, I'm sure he thought it was. As it turned out, not so much. For himself, he lost about 10 positions. And certainly for Chase Elliott, who dropped all the way
There's
to
your
near the back of the
leaderboard
pack.
currently, guys.
You can have a line that you
everybody's
think
at?
is going to work for you in the race, but on the initial start, and as we'll see on each restart, whether it's after a caution, we haven't had one other than this stage end, we're going to see that same kind of scenario. You've got to figure out a new line every time you determine who's going to be to your inside and who's to your outside entering that very wide but quickly narrowing turn 1.
As chaotic as it is, NASCAR made it better by moving the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone farther down the racetrack, almost as you come out of turn 20, and that allows the cars to fan out at least a little bit more before that restart zone, just before the start-finish line. So when they got to turn 1, it was just one big mob, and you had guys just pressing the gas pedal and bulldozing in and just going like, well, we'll see if the seats are going to park for us or not. And so to take away some of that recklessness, they moved, again, the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone farther down the racetrack. And although as crazy as it looks now, it certainly is better than what it used to be.
It is for sure. Pit road was not open the last time by. It should be open this time by. So Alex Hayden, talking about the restart zone here, it literally is right at the exit of turn number 20. That means you still have a great view of cars trying to restart while making a very hard left-hand corner.
It is very difficult for these drivers to do that. Moreover, it's difficult with the spotters as well to try to get their drivers going on that section of the race course. But the advantage of being at the front of the field, obviously the track position and putting yourself in line for a win, also has its advantages when it's time for restarts as well. If you're towards the mid-pack or back of the field, you're going to give up a good football field, maybe 2 by the time you get to turn number 1, just because you cannot accelerate at the same rate as the cars on the straightaway did.
Yeah, it is
pretty wild.
crazy with the EchoPark Automotive Restart Zone right there on the front straightaway, but at the exit to turn 20, so they have the entirety of it to fan out. But, Mark, it's not just fanning out. It's also cars pushing the bumper of other cars and trying to make some people move.
Again,
move out of the way, baby.
Chase Elliott was completely turning to the left when another guy was going straight into the corner and got him on the driver's side of his race car. So, again, a lot of different angles of attack, as Rob Albright has talked about. Again, we remain under yellow after the opening stage of the race today at Kota. Bubba Wallace, our Stage 1 winner, first time he's ever won a stage on a road course event. And for Bubba, last year he finished 15th. Nothing to write home about, but he was ecstatic because he finally finished. He had 3 DNFs in the first 3 trips out here to Austin, Texas. So he was just glad to finish a year ago. And if there's one thing that Bubba Wallace has really improved is his road racing. It has gotten incrementally better each year. And there was a time where he'd tell you, like, man, they're a nightmare for me. And now Bubba Wallace has put a lot of work into that the last 2 or 3 seasons. And, again, he got the outside pole for this race.
And it looks like Bubba Wallace, Joey Logano coming down pit road here at Circuit of the Americas. We're going to bring you those pit stops here momentarily. Let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Joey Logano is instructed to short pit his stall because Cody Ware is going to be coming around him. He was loose through the S's, and the carousel turns 1 and 2 were the strongest. Had high speed stability, but was giving up the turn. 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and an air pressure adjustment. Heather DeVoe.
All right, Bubba Wallace's crew looks like they're now working on the left side tires. Brett McMillan, what can you tell us?
Yeah, 4-tire change for Bubba Wallace, a little air pressure adjustment. He just wanted new tires. They asked him how the car was. He said, well, let's see. The lateral is off. It said it needs more front drive, rear drive. He said, just give me more tires. And they tightened it up a little bit. Also in Connor Zilic. Remember, he had that wreck on the first lap, had to come in and replace the right side tires because they were flat. He said after that, the car actually drove pretty well. So he comes in and gets 4 fresh tires, and he heads back out. Wendy Venturini.
On this end of pit road, I wanted to inspect all the Goodyear tires that came off of the cars, the last one being Joey Logano's 4 tires. Everybody's tires look good. No blisters, but they're very gooey, very gunky, very gummy looking. Lots of debris have acquired onto the tires, but no blisters, which was concerning to some of the crew chiefs before this race started.
When we come back, we will take you through a full field rundown, and the green flag will come back out
ladies and gentlemen.
Stage number 2 here at Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas, guys. Let us know in chat who your favorite driver is. Who are you rooting to win this race? And if you're watching this on replay, I appreciate you watching it. Thank you for checking in. Be sure to check us out live when we go live as well. Hope everybody's having an amazing, amazing Sunday. It's beautiful weather, so I don't see any weather stoppages today in this. So, knock on wood, guys. You never know. It is Texas after all. Anything can happen. Just blink your eyes and it can change. Alrighty, guys. We are setting at lap 3 of 25 on stage 2. Three stages today. 23 of 95 laps total.
Make sure you head over to EchoPark.com/Speedway and enter for a chance to win a Toyota Tundra plus a brand new Thor camper. Visit EchoPark.com/Speedway now to drive off a winner. From deep in the heart of Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing
Network. Deep in the heart of Texas, guys. There's a commercial break. You're not missing anything yet. This yellow above me is a caution, so we're currently under a caution. We'll be back live here as soon as they make it green. We got the PRN radio we'll bring in with us as well, so Here we go. Get ready to come back.
For a full field rundown
Full field rundown.
Set to start stage
Here's
number
the full
2,
field,
the
ladies and
EchoPark
gentlemen.
Automotive Grand Prix. Shane Van Gisbergen, the leader. Kyle Busch, second. Tyler Reddick, third. Kyle Larson, fourth. Fifth is Daniel Suarez. William Byron, sixth. A.J. Allmendinger, seventh. Eighth, Chase Briscoe. Ninth, Alex Bowman. 10th, Carson Hocevar.
Atlanta winner Christopher Bell running 11th, and Ty Gibbs is in 12th. 13th is Ross Chastain. 14th, Chris Buescher. Brad Keselowski, 15th. 16th is Ryan Preece. Austin Dillon, 17th. Riley Herbst is 18th. 19th is Denny Hamlin, and Ryan Blaney is 20th.
21st, John Hunter Nemechek. Justin Haley, 22nd. Todd Gilliland, 23rd. 24th is Cole Custer. Josh Berry, 25th. 26th, Noah Gragson. Zane Smith, 27th. 28th, Joey Logano. Bubba Wallace, 29th. 30th, Connor Zillage.
31st on the field is Michael McDowell. He had a penalty earlier. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 32nd. 33rd is Cody Ware. Eric Jones is actually Austin Cindric moves up to 34th. Eric Jones drops to 35th. Chase Elliott, 36th. And Ty Dillon is running 37th. We're going to take the green flag for Cheddar's stage number 2. It's presented by Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. Cheddar's is the official restaurant of RCR and the number 8 car. Cheddar's serves home-style comfort food like homemade chicken pot pie, slow smoked baby back ribs, and hand-breaded chicken
baby back ribs.
at prices
baby
that
back,
won't
baby
break
back.
the bank.
So stage number 2 is 25 laps long. We're getting set to restart here with 20 to go after we have, of course, yellow flagged laps run. After
Lights are off on the lap pace
again,
car.
This will be 20 laps to go in stage number 2 when the green flag comes out. So far, 3 leaders, 4 lead changes. That one caution here at the end of stage number 1. Shane Van Gisbergen has led this race twice for 11 laps. Tyler Reddick from the pole has led twice for 9. Bubba Wallace has led once for 4 laps.
Alex Hayden, they're doubled up in front of you.
Behind that Toyota GR Super Pace car, Shane Van Gisbergen chooses the left side of the racetrack. That'll give Kyle Busch the choice. He'll go to the right side. That's row number 1. Row number 2, we'll see Tyler Reddick to the left and Daniel Suarez to his right elbow. And row number 3 getting set for the restart. Kyle Larson and William Byron back in the 4th row. You've got A.J. Allmendinger and Chase Briscoe.
Allmendinger.
Jesse Dolavoot, the pace car driver, takes the Toyota GR Supra to pit road. They are now in the EchoPark Automotive restart zone. Green flag is out. Kyle Busch gets the jump on Shane Van Gisbergen on the outside as they chase up to turn number 1.
All right, boys, you're the best in the world. Let's see if you can get through turn 1 cleanly this time. Van Gisbergen has the advantage entering turn number 1. Right on his back bumper is Reddick. To his outside is Kyle Busch. Van Gisbergen swings him wide. That opens the inside lane for Tyler Reddick. He'll take over the 2nd position.
And Shane Van Gisbergen noses through the lead, exiting out of turn number 2, bringing the field in tow. They get by the first turn cleanly, but it's Shane Van Gisbergen by an eyelash over second place Reddick. Kyle Busch is at 3rd, but to his inside, it's Kyle Larson who backs off at turn number 6 and decides not to go for it there. Van Gisbergen the lead behind him. Carson Hocevar gets roughed up in turn 6A, but gets back in line.
Van Gisbergen will have about a 4-car lead now down the backstretch and into turn 12. They're stacked up behind him, single file. Reddick is there along with Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson is there as well. Daniel Suarez in that 5th position.
So we got guys, Kyle Busch, SVG, Suarez, Reddick, Byron. Who's going to stay with it?
Chris Bell trying to get the better of Bowman, and those 2 cars go side by side. Meanwhile, Hocevar tries to make a move, Suarez rather, on the 5 car as they work their way under the EchoPark Bridge.
That's solid racing. Meanwhile, here's a battle for the race lead in turn 17. Tyler Reddick now to driver's right on Shane Van Gisbergen.
They're bumping and grinding too.
Standing on the brakes for the left-hand turn 19. Van Gisbergen has the preferred lane. He'll grab the race lead back. Now Tyler Reddick is under attack. Kyle Busch will dive for the bottom of the racetrack.
3-way fight for the lead coming off of turn number 20 onto the front straightaway. It's Shane Van Gisbergen. Kyle Busch taking the 2nd spot. Tyler Reddick will chase him up the hill.
3 great road racers are going at it up front. Fight for 4th position, side by side. That is the machine of William Byron, he now gets bypassed by Daniel Suarez, who will take over fourth as the top three separate themselves and head into turn 2.
A feisty fight for the lead there, but Shane Van Gisbergen breaks loose.
SVG, baby.
For the second position there, as
I think he can hold it off. He's looking pretty solid right now.
Second spot, third place is Tyler Reddick.
I'm going to change this above us to the top 10.
Kyle Busch is getting a big charge behind him from Shane Van Gisbergen. Van Gisbergen lengthens right up to his rear bumper, but Busch gets the drive off of the corner into 6B.
Kyle Busch will lead him down the backstretch into turn 12. Hard left-hand corner now, getting down through the gearbox. Van Gisbergen, half a car length back. Reddick is there. Kyle
They got
Larson
a little wind on their
there.
mics.
Also, William Byron is there as well. A.J. Allmendinger is in this mix.
Allmendinger.
Chase Briscoe, Chris Bell, all of those cars working their way through turn number 13. Now over by 14, the Kink. Here's the leader going into the bottom of number 15. Kyle Busch, Van Gisbergen, only a half a car length back. They are 4 wide, if you can believe that, through the carousel, through the Stadium Series just a moment ago.
They were, and they got through that apparently cleanly. Top 3 now get away with Kyle Busch up front. Challenge is on for the number 4 spot. Daniel Suarez getting the bums rush. William Byron will go
bums
by.
rush.
Here comes A.J. Allmendinger. He's knocking on the back door as well. Allmendinger going to try to slide by to driver's left in turn 20.
Coming out of turn number 20, Kyle Busch is the race leader. Pulling
Go
away
Busch.
from Shane Van Gisbergen and Tyler Reddick. Fourth right now is William Byron.
They're bouncing back and forth, as you can see
Daniel
here.
Suarez and Allmendinger.
Suarez runs the outside lane. To his left, driver's left, is A.J. Allmendinger. He locks up the brakes. Gets some wheel hop. Daniel Suarez not able to capitalize as Kyle Busch stretches the race lead.
He certainly does there. Kyle Busch, first time out front in a while here on a road course that we've seen. Shane Van Gisbergen is second. Third is Tyler Reddick there. In the fourth place spot, you have the machine of William
machine.
Byron. This is A.J. Allmendinger. Daniel Suarez is 6. A battle here coming through turn number 6, and that is going to be Kyle Larson all over the rear bumper of Chase Briscoe. He looks inside
He's like
there,
pushing
back
him.
in line. Briscoe holds that 7th spot.
Yeah, Briscoe got that spot away from Kyle Larson. Larson now right on his bumper, almost shoving him into turn number 12. Not going to be able to make a move through turn 12. Kyle Busch unchallenged up front in turn number 13. Then it's Van Gisbergen, and then you have Tyler Reddick. That's the top 3. Behind him, you watch these cars, mostly all single file, working their way into turn 15 now. Here's Kyle Busch up through the gearbox. He races hard up here to the EchoPark Bridge.
Like a slinky on the straightaways, the field separates. Under braking,
That's
it
7 of
snaps right
25.
back together.
7 of
Kyle
25.
Busch has the lead now. Shane Van Gisbergen looks in the mirror, sees Tyler Reddick and William Byron on the charge. Further back, wheel to wheel for position. Alex Bowman, Christopher Bell still trying to grapple for that spot in the second part of the top 10. They race back to the corner.
Kyle Larson has his hands full with Christopher Bell. That is a fight for the 8th spot right now as they work their way up the front stretch. Bell falls back a bit. Then it's going to be Bowman, Buscher, and Hocevar on a string as they head to turn number 1.
All this taking place behind a second-place battle shaping up now. Shane Van Gisbergen losing ground.
Who you got, guys? Who do we got?
Assault off turn number 2 from Tyler Reddick.
They come off of turn number 2, about 7-8 car length behind the leader, Kyle Busch. Shane Van Gisbergen has a car length advantage over that third-place car of Tyler Reddick, your pole sitter there. William Byron right in Reddick's tire tracks at turn number 6, that easy right-hander there. And then he dives a little bit harder than Reddick into turn 6A, so Reddick still has the advantage there, again, in that third position.
One of the fastest cars of that group we're just talking about is A.J. Allmendinger. He continues to kind of march his way up to the front. He's got to go work on William Byron now. That'll
It's
be
top 10 on the placement here, guys, above us.
Moving right through
following the
turn
top
14,
10.
13 rather, headed over to 14. No change up front. Looking for a single car battles. There are no 2-car battles right now heading into our area in the stadium course. Here's the leader again through turn number 15. Call it 6 car lengths back to second place, SVG.
Highly technical portion of the circuit through this area, out of the stadium,
Let's
into
go.
the long sweeping right hand 16, 17, and 18. No real passing opportunity there, but you can set them up for 19, and that's exactly what William Byron's trying to do right now. Can't quite get close enough to Tyler Reddick's back bumper. As a matter of fact, Byron will slip just a bit and give up some more real estate.
This time by, it'll be 16 laps to go in Cheddar stage number 2. Kyle Busch leads Shane Van
16
Gisbergen,
laps,
Tyler
guys.
Reddick, William Byron, and A.J. Allmendinger.
29 of 95. 29 of 95 laps. How about that, guys? Man, this is going to be a quick race today, guys. 95 laps, so stay with it. Keep me with you. Take it on your phone if you can. Stay up to date, guys. I'll keep this going live here. So be sure to like, share, and let's get this hopping, guys. Let us know in chat where you're at, where you're watching from, who your favorite driver is, and I hope you're having an amazing Saturday, Sunday. Today's Sunday. Weekends just fly by anymore, but enjoy them while you can. If you're working, thank you for the work that you do, guys. I know it is very important, so let's stay with it. Here is the overall view of where everybody's at currently. You can see here, I've got the breakdown of everything here.
Away at the front of the field from the capital of Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
PRN, baby. We're right here, guys. We're staying with it till the end. Lap 9 of 25 on stage 2, guys. Stage 2 is with us. And we got the cars here. You can kind of follow the little animated track. This thing looks off sometimes, this animated track. Bum, bum, bum. Lap 10 of 25. So 15 more laps on this stage, guys. 15 more laps. SVG. He's back in second. He's bouncing around.
Laps to go here in stage number 2 at Circuit of the Americas in the EchoPark Automotive
Kota.
Grand Prix. Kyle Busch leads Shane Van Gisbergen. Currently running third is Tyler Reddick. Fourth is A.J. Allmendinger. Last year's winner, William Byron, is fifth. Sixth is Daniel Suarez. Seventh, Chase Briscoe. Kyle Larson running eighth. Christopher Bell is ninth. Alex Bowman up to the top 10.
Chris Buescher 11th. 12th, Carson Hocevar. Ryan Preece 13th. 14th, Ross Chastain. Ty Gibbs is 15th, 16th, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin 17th, Ryan Blaney has moved up to 18th, dropping Riley Herbst to 19th, 20th is Justin Haley.
Running 21st, Connor Zilich in his Cup debut. John Hunter Nemechek 22nd, 23rd, Austin Dillon. Joey Logano is 24th, 25th is Cole Custer. Michael McDowell 26th, 27th is Noah Gragson, 28th, Bubba Wallace, 29th, Todd Gilliland. Zane Smith runs 30th.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 31st, Austin Cindric 32nd, Josh Berry 33rd, 34th, Cody Ware, Eric Jones 35th, 36th, Chase Elliott, and then 37th, Ty Dillon. All 37 cars are running. All 37 cars are on the lead lap.
That Cheddar's leaderboard update is brought to you by Cheddar Scratch Kitchen, your place for American classics like slow smoke, fall off the plate, baby back ribs, and bourbon glazed salmon. All at prices that won't break the bank. And don't forget the honey butter croissants. Cheddar's.
Honey butter croissants.
Or not a lot. Doug Turnbull, we have a change in your section. NASCAR has actually eliminated track limits in turn number 6. Now, we've been hearing you talk about 6A a lot, which is different from turn number 6. So if you wouldn't mind maybe describing that part of the racetrack and why you might feel NASCAR eliminated track limits from turn 6.
Gladly. First off, the field is just passed in front of me at turn 6. Now, the difference between turns 3, 4, and 5, where there still are track limits, is those are more angular, tighter turns, those what are called the S's. And turn 6 is a gradual parabola. It's really barely a turn, actually, exiting the S's. And then they call turn 6A and 6B, of course, where the track has a cut-through, where they've cut off that mile extra of the circuit there. 6A and 6B are hard left-handers. I would surmise that the reason they're not doing track limits here, number one, drivers are not driving all 4 tires over the rumble strips, per se. And number 2, they actually, the driver Anthony Alfredo, standing right next to me, pointed out to me that they put grass down here that wasn't there in past times, that drivers have actually put their tires in the grass, and they put the grass there, that NASCAR did, to discourage them from driving all the way off of the track. So they put a natural track limit, if you will, although I've seen a couple of drivers today kick dirt up on the surface, and NASCAR cleaners actually go out and blow off the track there during the stage break. So it seemed to me it's not major violations here, but certainly there's a natural deterrent, if you will.
Well, while there are no more track limits in turn number 6, there still are in 3, 4, and 5, and Kyle Larson just found out the hard way. Track limits violation for Kyle Larson in turn number 3. That's a stop-and-go penalty on track. They serve that in turn number 13, which is in the stadium section of the road course. That stop-and-go penalty, depending on how far the field is stretched out, Mark, might not be too big of one because we saw one served by Bubba Wallace earlier in the race, only lost, 6, 7 spots?
Exactly, and we'll have to see where Kyle Larson will fade back in the line. Kyle Busch continues to lead, but Shane Van Gisbergen closing
Stay
in.
with it, ladies and gentlemen.
That much of a surprise.
Hey, hit
Kyle
the thumbs
Busch
up if you're in chat. Let us know you're here.
Active drivers and road course wins on the Cup Series with 4. Chase Elliott, number 1 at 7. Larson at number 2 with 6. Busch, 2008, 2013, the winner at Watkins Glen. 2008, 2015. He went to victory lane at Sonoma.
Well, yeah, just real quick to update that Kyle Larson stop. He just did that, and he lost 7 spots. That's how many he lost over here in my area of the course, guys.
Thank you very much, Pat Patterson. Well, let's see. We heard what Kyle Busch has done. Let's see what he is doing as the race leaders are about to approach the final corner, the left-hander in turn number 20. When they come by this time, it'll be 12 to go in Cheddar stage number 2.
12 to go, guys.
Shane Van Gisbergen now catching your race leader. He's only 3 car lengths behind as they climb up the hill.
We've got a new third-place car, and A.J. Allmendinger having dispatched with Tyler Reddick, but the battle is for the race lead. It is still Kyle Busch, but right on his tail panel is the Chevrolet.
He's right on his tail panel.
Van Gisbergen looks to the inside, now tucks right in behind the race leader.
They come down the hill, exiting turn 2, off
Shake and
camera.
bake, baby, shake and bake.
Left-hand turn into 3 as the S's begin. Then a right-hander at 4, a quick another a left-hander into turn 5. Kyle Busch, a 2-car length lead over Shane Van Gisbergen. Then you got to go 8 car lengths back to A.J. Allmendinger at 3rd. Through turn 6A and B they go. Kyle Busch, then SVG, but SVG is closing.
SVG.
Yeah, only about 2 car lengths off of Kyle Busch's Chevy now as they work down into turn number 12. Kyle Busch down through the gearbox, quickly moves that car over to his left, driver's left, now races up to the 13, turn number 13, back over to his right. Van Gisbergen is right there. Not a great place to try to make a pass, but down here in 15, Shane will get his opportunity. Again, here he comes into turn number 15. Kyle Busch holds him back by about a half a car length. Shane Van Gisbergen is right there as that battle goes on under the bridge.
Shane Van Gisbergen has
SVG, guys. Any SVG, SVG chance
Van Gisbergen looks
chat.
the drivers right
I
off
can
turn
talk
number
straight
18.
today. Good
Takes
grief.
a peek there.
Gotta get a
Shows the
drink.
nose of that white
Let's go.
Camaro to Kyle Busch. Tucks back in line in 19. Continues to
SVG, can you pull it out?
As they work their way out of turn 20, Kyle Busch clinging to the top spot, but Van Gisbergen is there. They are nose to tail across the start-finish line, and they have gapped third place, A.J. Allmendinger.
A.J. Allmendinger, having dispatched with Tyler Reddick, is actually making up a little bit of time on the race leaders, but still about 15 car lengths back. Once again, into turn number 1 very smoothly. No place for Van Gisbergen to make the move.
No place like home.
Kyle Busch. Busch moves up in front of him in turn 2.
And Van Gisbergen gave Busch a little contact there near the start-finish line as they began this lap. But it's Kyle Busch leading here as he drives more aggressively, I'd say, through the S's than Van Gisbergen does. Van Gisbergen has a little bit smoother car there, and now he's going to set him up and crosses him over to the inside of turn 6.
Crosses him over.
Dove outside, went inside, but Kyle Busch powers back on his passenger door. Never mind, new leader SVG.
Yeah,
SVG's back in it, baby.
Smartly and smoothly, Kyle Busch is going to stay right there on his
Stay
bumper.
with it. They're back and forth, back and forth. Can you hold it?
But it's SVG back up front now as he works his way
They're gonna
through
switch it
turn
here
number
any
13.
second.
That's a right-hander. He'll go past the little kink to the right on 14 and head over to 15. Meanwhile, a good battle.
Put him back up there.
Spots back.
He's got it.
Bell,
Come on, SVG.
Going to work against the pole-sitting car of Tyler Reddick. Those two cars back and forth. They get together with each other in turn number 15. Reddick holds on to the spot, but Chris Bell pressing him hard.
Good racing here at Circuit of the Americas. Reddick will hang on to the position
Refresh
for
that
the
guy
moment
there.
as they
All
make
right.
their way through turn 17. Meanwhile, back at the front of the field, Shane Van Gisbergen has Kyle Busch again beginning to get right up on the back bumper
Keep
off
it
turn
live.
number 20.
Keep
It'll
it
be
alive,
10 laps to go this
fresh.
time by Shane Van Gisbergen. Kyle Busch on his back bumper as we pause 10 seconds for
station identification. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here with you guys. Stay right here with me. Smash the like button if you have not already, guys. That's the best way to support the channel. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Smash it, share it, and let us know where you're watching from. Hope you're having an amazing Sunday. We're back at it on PRN.
Stage number 2. When we come back, we'll take you all the way to the green and white checkered flag here at Circuit of the Americas.
10 to go. They're on 10 laps to go. And we're following the top 10 above us here, guys. This top 10, when you put in the full field view, it just, to me, it doesn't look right. It's hard to see all the cars, so it's still hard to see the top 10. But I feel like it's better than, here's the full field view. We can keep it up for a second. If you guys don't like it, let me know. We'll put it back to 10. It is what it is. eBay, brought to you by eBay.
Pulling away from Kyle Busch with 10 laps to go in stage number 2 of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. From Circuit of the Americas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing
SVG's
Network.
race to lose, guys. If he can hold it out, he'll stick it. I mean, this is his bread and butter, these kind of races for sure. Here's a field rundown. We'll pop this back up so you can see it. You can see everything above us here. And if you're on a smartphone or a tablet, you can pinch to zoom in on YouTube on these guys. Alrighty. PRN is on a break. We have not left you guys yet. No cautions. Here's Johnny. Are they coming back, PRN?
Has lost a couple of spots. Ryan Blaney passed him to take over 14th. Now Connor Zilic overtakes the Monster Energy Toyota, move him up to 15th. Gibbs drops to 16th.
And a lot of those battles on the racetrack have made their way in front of you, Alex Hayden.
They have indeed. The best battle right now shaping up is for the runner-up position. A.J. Allmendinger has been really hauling the groceries as of late. He's now caught the second-place car of Kyle Busch.
When they come across the stripe, 8 laps to go here in stage number 2 of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. So again, the lead trio chases up the hill to turn number 1.
A.J. Allmendinger, definitely the fastest of that threesome at this juncture. He's closed right on the back bumper of Kyle Busch in turn number 1. He'll navigate that corner, now head down through the gears, back up through the gears, I should say, as they go downhill into turn number 2. Just 2 car lengths between them.
That gravity just thrusts them into turns 2 and 3, and then they have to be really finesse like leader Shane Van Gisbergen, second place Kyle Busch, and third place A.J. Allmendinger do. They downshift in turn 6, then downshift once more hard on the brakes into turn 6A. It's still about a car length separation each between SVG, Kyle Busch, and A.J. Allmendinger, the top 3.
Yeah, Allmendinger does a much better job of getting off of 6B now as that group heads to down here into turn number 12. SVG, the first one through to the left, now lets the car drift out to the right, pulls it back over to the left to set up for turn number 13. It's about 4 car lengths back to Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has got a mirror full of A.J. Allmendinger. It's a long way back to the 4th place car of William Byron as they also we work in Chase Briscoe in that group. Meanwhile, no change to the top 3 as they cross the bridge.
Front 3 are in a league of their own at this point in the race, and then you've got a gap back to 4 more drivers who are wrestling for that spot as well. That's led by William Byron. Byron from 4th on back. He's got Daniel Suarez there. Chase Briscoe is in the mix. Christopher Bell is there as well. Everybody fighting for all they can get.
To tag on to what Alex Hayden just said, if the front three continue to pull away, Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch, and A.J. Allmendinger, if they short pit the stage, last time Van Gisbergen and Busch only lost 2 spots at the end of the stage. They head to the top of the hill with 7 to go in stage 2.
And the distance between first and second is about stable at 3 car lengths, 3 more back to third place. A.J. Allmendinger as they ease away. Looking at Briscoe, 6th, started 18th. He's acquitting himself quite well. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. vacated that car, and Briscoe proving he's a pretty good road racer himself.
He was exiting turn 1 now as the leader, Shane Van Gisbergen, pulls the field through the S's right now. And second place, Kyle Busch. Third place, Allmendinger. In fourth place, William Byron got free of a couple of the other cars there, but holding him up earlier. He enters turn 6 now as the leader, SVG, exits 6B.
Here comes SVG down the backstretch. He'll get up to full song as they work into turn number 12 and get back through the gearbox as fast as they can. It's a long way back to William Byron. Behind him, you have Daniel Suarez, Chase Briscoe, and Chris Bell. Those 4 cars kind of in their own group. And then you got to go back a little bit farther to find Tyler Reddick, who is just now entering into turn number 13. Alex Bowman behind him. Chris Buescher is in this mix as well. And you've got Michael Carson Hocevar also here as well. Leaders off of turn number 16.
Here's the battle for second, tightening up yet again. Kyle Busch has A.J. Allmendinger now beginning to pester the back bumper of his black and brown Camaro. Allmendinger sizing him up off turn number 19. They'll stab the throttle, go back through the gearbox as they race to the final corner.
Ty Gibbs continues to fade. Larson, Hamlin, Justin Haley flash by him. That's down in the backside of the top 20. Meanwhile, leaders down the front stretch. We've got 6 laps to go now in stage number 2.
SVG easing away now as we near the end of stage number 2. He's enhanced his lead. It's now about 10 car lengths. Kyle Busch, however, feels a lot of heat on the back end of his race car in the person of A.J. Allmendinger. Right together through turn number 2.
And they exit 2 right into that crosswinds that's been gusting rapidly here in the Texas Hill Country through the S's right now. But Kyle Busch about a car length ahead of that third place A.J. Allmendinger machine, and Shane Van Gisbergen loves that battle and tries to pull away from them. All 3 of the leaders put their right side tires in the grass and dirt exiting turn 6, and they get into 6A and out of it very cleanly. Hey, battle shaping up here back in the top 5. Chase Briscoe going around Daniel Suarez, but slips up exiting 6A. Pat Patterson, they are 2 wide in front of you.
Yeah, that is a great battle, and Christopher Bell is right behind those 3. As everybody, they're almost going to get 3 wide, trying to get geared down into turn number 12. Briscoe makes the pass, but blows the corner, and Christopher Bell says, I think I'll just take both of these positions. Exactly what he did. So Christopher Bell benefits big time now as those cars work turn number 14. The leaders are off and under the bridge.
They make their way into turn number 16, continuing to be Shane Van Gisbergen. His lead has grown to a solid 7 car lengths or so over Kyle Busch and A.J. Allmendinger. William Byron finds himself all by his lonesome in the number 4 spot. And then the trio of cars from 5th on back, that's Christopher Bell. Then you've got Chase Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, all of them under braking off turn number 19, still racing hard for that spot.
Denny Hamlin posted track limit violation in turn number 5. He'll have to do a stop-and-go penalty. Meanwhile, the battle for the top 5 heads up the hill to Rob Albright.
We'll watch this fight continuing for that second position. A.J. Allmendinger rather easily appeared to run down Kyle Busch, but getting around him another matter altogether. So far, unable to accomplish that as they remain nose to tail through turn 2.
Even if he doesn't get past him, every 10th you can gain on the racetrack is just important as a 10th on pit road if they end up pitting under green here and trying to flip the stage and trying to get forego stage points to get track position. But the top 3 are their own zip code. They're in turn 6A now. William Byron in 4th place is just now going through turn 6, and the new 5th place car, Christopher Bell, is about 10 lengths behind him. Pat Patterson.
Yeah, here's the leader again, Van Gisbergen down into turn number
SVG
12.
Guys.
Good spacing and gap between him.
5 laps, stage
long
2.
way back there to William Byron.
2 or 3.
Christopher Bell occupies that 5th spot now. Once again, Chase Briscoe doing a great job this afternoon. He's just getting in to turn number 12. Suarez in hot pursuit there with Tyler Reddick. Here's the leader once again, Shane Van Gisbergen. Hard left-hand corner up through the gearbox as he heads to the EchoPark Bridge.
They're so smooth as Shane Van Gisbergen. He's beginning to put more distance between himself and Kyle Busch, who in his own right has begun to gap A.J. Allmendinger just a bit.
Allmendinger.
Up 5 car lengths on the Dinger. Still, William Byron rides all by himself in position number 4. He is unmolested whatsoever there in that spot. And Christopher Bell has distanced himself now from the other two in Chase Briscoe and Daniel Suarez.
Austin Dillon has made a pit stop. The leaders, however, flashed by the pit lane. Van Gisbergen will lead them back up to turn number 1. Only 4 laps left in stage number 2 at Kota.
As we follow the leader through turn 1, we'll note
laps
the
to go.
only Ford in the top 10 is the 10th place car of Chris Buescher, as otherwise it continues to struggle down to pit road to Brett.
Daniel Suarez is headed down pit road. He's got a short pit this time, and right behind him, he has Tyler Reddick. Suarez comes to a stop in his pit stall. It's going to be 4 tires, no adjustments for him. It's a slight air pressure adjustment. Tyler Reddick also getting 4 fresh tires. That's what he wants. He's been using up these tires. Suarez gone 10.5 seconds, Lindy Venturini.
Ross Chastain was in for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. A lot of these guys taking advantage of the green flag stops before the end of the stage break. Heather DeBow.
Also in was Ty Gibbs. He's a little loose this time, which is opposite the last stop, so they're going to go back on that adjustment.
Let's go, guys.
Shane Van Gisbergen now working turn number 14 down to 15, about 8 to 10.
4 laps to go in the stage.
Another 6 or 7 car links back to third. Those 3 cars now work their way up towards the EchoPark Bridge.
They make their way underneath the bridge, back in to the brilliant Texas sunshine. Shane Van Gisbergen, Kyle Busch, and A.J. Allmendinger now have equal gaps between the 3 of them. They make their way into turn number 19 as William Byron and Christopher Bell flash by as they pass underneath my feet, some 251 feet below me. The leaders stay on the racetrack, at least this time by.
This time it'll be 3 laps to go in stage number 2. We had a commitment line violation for Austin Dillon, so he's going to have to come and do a pass-through penalty. He was the first driver to come down and open up pit road as we go back down to pit road in Heather DeBow.
And in right now is William Byron. He was saying that he's not really sure what he needs here on this stop, but he said he needs to be able to launch better on exit, what is his main issue. Also in was Christopher Bell, who's been quiet under the radio, so he's been happy so far with that 20 machine. Brett McMillan.
Connor Zillage just coming down pit road. This is going to be his regularly scheduled stop.
Think we'll have a clean finish, guys, or is it going to be chaotic? What do you think?
The right side, tear off, fall off the windshield. Coming around the left side is a 4-tire stop for him. Kyle Larson also comes in for his 4-tire change. Wendy Venturini.
Joey Logano's in for 4 tires. Sunoco fuel. They dropped the jack on the right-hand side. He had to go back and jack up the right side again because the right front tire changer did not get the tire engaged.
Oh, that stinks.
A little bit longer stop. Heather DeBow.
Chase Briscoe was already in. He said he felt good on the long run, but he just didn't have enough grip in the rear for the short run and needed a little bit more forward drive.
The leader is back under the EchoPark Bridge with Kyle Busch and A.J. Allmendinger in tow.
Allmendinger in tow.
16, very gingerly working the throttle now with these older Goodyear Eagle tires. They make their way down the hill and under braking at turn number 19. Shane Van Gisbergen by 10 car lengths over Kyle Busch. Busch slips just a bit. Here comes the race leader. First place, second place, third place, all headed to pit lane.
Right there, guys. They're all breaking
this
it
coming
in.
just before 2 laps to go. They're on pit
2 laps
road
to go
as they
on
work their way
stage
down. SVG
2.
leading Kyle Busch on his pit stops. Let's go to Heather DeBow.
In right now is Kyle Busch. He's been quiet over the radio, so far happy with that 8 car. They're going to do a tear-off, 4 tires, and Sunoco fuel. Brett McMillan.
That's
Kyle
Sunoco
Larson
fuel,
had
baby.
a lot of trouble in the left rear. Getting that tire off is what it appeared to be, but he spent a lot of time in the pits. Cost him a number of positions. Fortunately, as we've said before, it's a big track, so they spread him out. You don't lose a lap here, but it was a long pit stop for Kyle Larson with trouble on that left rear.
Kyle Larson has lost the right front tire.
Yeah, he's slow on the racetrack over here. He has lost the right front tire on his car. He's still trying to nurse it around.
It's going down the track. We may have a caution caution.
A really bad break. Larson just trying to get
tire literally came off.
They not get the be a 2-lap penalty for Kyle Larson. It's also going to be a 2-week suspension, as right now AJ Allmendinger, Ryan Blaney now being shown as the race leader. He and Ryan Preece are racing each other for the top spot, but on the official scoreboard, Allmendinger actually shown as the race leader. We'll see what happens as they get to the start-finish line, Mark.
Kyle Busch and Shane Van Gisbergen going at it as they came off of pit road. SVG was ahead of Busch.
Tire kept rolling, rolled into the corner.
Again, this is not for the lead, and the tire that came off of Larson's car has rolled off the racetrack in a safe place. NASCAR will retrieve that at the end of this stage.
And Mark, I want to jump in here. The contact, there was more contact between SVG and Kyle Busch, happened right in front of me here in turn 6A as they're battling, I'd say, in the back of the top 10 or so after these pit stop cycle. SVG drove hard into 6A, tapped Kyle Busch's rear bumper, and then tried to go back around him. So maybe a little bit of upset under the collar there for these two drivers that have led this race.
Well, let me back up even a little bit earlier than that, Turnbull, because as they came up the hill off of pit road, they were door to door. They got to the middle of turn number 1. Kyle Busch had a good line on the outside, and SVG literally took him to the wide extreme outside of the racetrack. Kyle simply did not like that, and he retaliated.
All right, Ryan Preece now being shown as your race leader here. We've got 1 lap to go here in stage number 2. The wheel came off of Kyle Larson's car. That's why he's on pit road. That's why he'll have a penalty. Ryan Blaney currently second. Michael McDowell third. Busch, Van Gisbergen round out the top 5.
That stinks for Busch because he was
the cars out there on the circuit.
Fighting
and
for
Ryan Preece is
there.
coming through turn 6 right now with about a 7-car length lead over second place Ryan Blaney, and then it's about a half a mile lead over to the third place machine. Ryan Preece, not known for his road racing acumen, but has had a solid run today there, Pat.
Oh, he looks great. He's down on the backstretch here in his car, headed towards turn number 12. Ryan Blaney about 8 to 10 car lengths back. Here's Preece working the car in through turn number 12. Lets it drift out here as he sets up.
Final lap of stage 2, guys. Final lap.
Corner for him. He'll make that run without any problem. Go over here and basically touch the base on the kink of 14 and races down into 15. Ryan Preece, white and green machine, as he works his way up here to the EchoPark Bridge with Ryan Blaney in tow.
NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour champion Ryan Preece, short tracker from the Northeast, doing quite well deep in the heart of Texas, turning both left and right, trying to get a stage win under his belt. Blaney continues to backslide. The back end of that car will not be stable enough for him to make a charge. Ryan Preece headed to turn 20.
So Ryan Preece working his way through the final turn, coming on to the front stretch, a big gap over Ryan Blaney. Ryan Preece will win stage number 2 of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. It looks like Ryan Blaney will finish in the second spot. It's going to take a while for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place machines to make their way to the start-finish line. It's going to be Michael McDowell winding up 3rd. Kyle Busch wins that battle with Shane Van Gisbergen for 4th. At number 6, it's going to be A.J. Allmendinger. William Byron will finish 7th. Bubba Wallace in 8th. Christopher Bell 9th. Daniel Suarez will finish stage number 2 in 10th place.
Stage number 2 presented by Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. Cheddar's is the official restaurant of RCR and the number 8 car. Cheddar serves home-style comfort food like homemade chicken pot pie, slow smoke baby back ribs, and hand-breaded chicken tenders at prices that won't break the bank.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver.
We're getting there, guys. Currently end of stage 2, getting ready to start stage 3. Stage 3 is coming up. It's 50 laps. Take us to the finish, ladies and gentlemen. So, currently on a radio break. This PRN is queued up, guys. Here we go.
Shane Van Gisbergen, the strongest cars out on the course right now, but we still have more than half of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix to go. 50 laps to go currently as we're in our stage number 2 break. We'll find out who can make it to Progressive Victory Lane. At Progressive, we're making things even easier. We'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. From Austin, Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network. The field is in tow behind the Toyota GR Supra pace car right now at the end of stage number 2, waiting to see if pit road is going to be open. Want to go around the circuit and survey our turn announcers. A lot happened right there at the end of stage number 2, but lots happened in this race as well. Rob Albright, let's start with you. What are you seeing up at the top of the hill in your section that might come into play here in the final stage of our race?
Well, every restart in turn number 1 at Kota is just it's a crapshoot for everybody involved. And we saw a much better restart the second time than we did in the initial start of the race. Nobody had any experience getting those brakes warmed up. The tires were not warmed up, and some mistakes were made. I think, however, now as we've reached the third stage of this race, this restart may more emulate that opening lap start, because you got to make some time. You got to pick up positions if you have the opportunity to do so. Nobody is going to just say, you know what, I think I'll just ride safely and slowly through turn number 1 and then start racing. They're going to go for whatever they can pick up, and that is from the first position to the very last one. So turn number 1 on this upcoming restart, as it has been since day 1, the first time we came here to Kota 5 years ago, it's been a very exciting place. What do you got going on down there, Doug Turnbull?
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to survey the rest of our turn announcers because NASCAR has announced that pit road is open. Mark, we did have a few drivers stay out once again. That's great for a stage win for Ryan Preece, but these drivers are about to pay a big penalty of track position.
And we're about to put Busch, Van Gisbergen, and Allmendinger back at the point, so it's just going to get more fun.
All right, let's go down to Wendy Venturini.
Now, you saw Preece and Blaney hit pit road. You did not see Michael McDowell hit pit road, who's in third. They are staying out because they had a pit road penalty for going over the wall too early. They're going to stay out, and while Blaney's in for 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and that tear-off, he's searching for more grip and rear turn in his machine as these cars are going to cycle around on pit stops. Heather DeVoe.
And Denny Hamlin is in right now. The team had a discussion on whether or not they wanted to pit or stay out because of track position. They chose to pit right now. No complaints on the race car for Denny Hamlin and no adjustments. Brent McMillan.
Bubba Wallace, last time they fixed the rear end. This time they're going to fix the front end and give him better handling there. 4 tire change for him. Air pressure adjustment, 10.7 seconds for him.
All right, thank you very much, Brett, Wendy, and Heather. When we come back, we'll go back out, survey some more of our turn announcers. We'll be able to give you a full field rundown as Michael McDowell and his crew chief Travis Peterson have mixed up a little bit of strategy here at Circuit of the Americas.
Hey, Joey Logano here. My pit stop's outside of the track, fueling up with a hunk of pizza from Hunt Brothers Pizza, the fastest on-the-go option for the champion and everyone. To find a location, visit huntbrotherspizza.com.
This is Kyle Petty for EchoPark Automotive, and I'm here to tell you why you should shop EchoPark. Before you buy a car, truck, or SUV, over half of inventory at EchoPark is priced below $25,000. And car for car, truck for truck, EchoPark Automotive's pricing is $3,000 less than the competition. Maybe that's why EchoPark has over 95,000 five-star reviews. EchoPark Automotive is built to make sure you drive away happy. It's even in their name, EchoPark Automotive. Every car, happy owner. The official used car dealer of Speedway Motorsports.
We are about to get the final stage underway of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix from Austin, Texas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Automotive Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas as we're about to get the final stage underway. Let's go to the top of the box with Weather Guard truck boxes. Heather DeBow.
I'm here now with Randall Burnett, Kyle Busch's crew chief, who has led 9 laps today. I haven't heard him say a single word on the radio. Does that mean Kyle Busch is happy with his car, or what has he told you?
Yeah, usually when he's not saying anything, that's a good sign. So we ain't been bugging him about it too much today, but got a really good Rebel Bourbon Chevy today. Everybody on this team's done a great job. Everybody at ECR and RCR has prepped us a really good car for here. So hopefully we can pull it out. We got some tough competition up there with Shane and AJ are two of the best at this stuff, but I feel like we got a pretty good one in the seat too. So he's doing a phenomenal job today. Can't say enough about what he's doing behind the wheel, and going good. Still got one more stop to go, so we'll see where that gets us.
Luck to you the rest of the way to the finish.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Heather DeBow. For over half a century, pros have relied on Weather Guard to protect their gear. A Weather Guard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Weather Guard, established in 1968, proven every day. Learn more at weatherguard.com.
Time now for an eBay leaderboard. Swapping out your tires, there's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain, get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay, things people love. Michael McDowell, without making the pit stop, is going to assume the top spot. Kyle Busch second, Shane Van Gisbergen third. Fourth, A.J. Allmendinger. Fifth, William Byron. Christopher Bell sixth. Seventh, Daniel Suarez. Chase Briscoe eighth. Ninth, Tyler Reddick. 10th is Chris Buescher.
Running 11th is Alex Bowman. 12th, Carson Hocevar. Ross Chastain now up to 13th. 14th is Connor Zillage. Brad Keselowski 15th. 16th is Justin Haley. 17th, Austin Dillon. Ty Gibson 18th. 19th is Joey Logano. 20th is Noah Gragson.
21st is Austin Cindric. Josh Berry has worked his way up to 22nd. 23rd, Zane Smith. Ryan Preece, our Stage 2 winner, is 24th. 25th, Ryan Blaney. Bubba Wallace, Stage 1 winner, he's 26th. 27th, Denny Hamlin. Cole Custer, 28th. 29th, Chase Elliott. 30th, Riley Herbst.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 31st. 32nd is Cody Ware. 33rd is Ty Dillon. Todd Gilliland, 34th. 35th is Eric Jones. His teammate John Hunter Nemechek is 36th. Kyle Larson is running minus 2 laps down after a penalty for losing a wheel. Kyle Larson being shown last in 37th.
So, again, we have now made it through 2 stages of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix here at COTA. And so far this season, 6 stages, 6 different winners, man. The competitiveness of the Cup Series is right there at the top. So now the big question, can Michael McDowell hold off Kyle Busch on this restart, and can both of those cars get away from being run over in turn number 1? Those questions about to be answered.
Alex Hayden, the lights are out in the Toyota GR Super. What does the field look like side by side?
With Michael McDowell choosing the driver's left of the front row, Kyle Busch will go to the right, watching the drivers choose which lane they want to restart in. There was no real big shakeup, essentially zigzagging left and right all the way through the field. But Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch, left and right, respectively, Shane Van Gisbergen and A.J. Allmendinger stack up in row number 2.
46 laps to go here in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix at Kota. Again, Michael McDowell, Kyle Busch lead them now into the EchoPark Automotive restart zone. Green flag is out, and now Busch, McDowell, door to door, head to turn number 1.
McDowell, a good road racer, but he has not had a competitive car here this afternoon. What will he do? What will Kyle Busch do to his outside? McDowell will try to turn in. Busch goes to the outside, headed to the inside now. Alongside Busch is Shane Van Gisbergen as they run 1, 2, 3 off turn 2.
McDowell on those older tires going to be hanging on for dear life as they come down through the S's for the first time in this stage. As we got Michael McDowell still holding on to that lead spot, at least for now, but Kyle Busch is all over him. He is surveying him left and right, trying to figure out the way around, and now he dive bombs him into turn 6A. Move Kyle Busch to the lead around McDowell. Third place is now A.J. Allmendinger. Fourth, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Kyle Busch with a great move puts him in front as he works down the straightaway into turn number 12. 2 car lengths separate him and Michael McDowell in that second spot. A.J. Allmendinger is right there. Shane Van Gisbergen. 2-car battle. Chris Bell goes at her with William Byron. Chase Briscoe also locked together in a side-by-side battle as well with Tyler Reddick. Here's Kyle Busch down the bottom at number 15. Kyle Busch now up through the gearbox. Behind him, A.J. Allmendinger has now taken over the second spot.
Allmendinger!
By Michael McDowell, whose troubles are not finished just yet. Shane Van Gisbergen will get by McDowell. McDowell now just struggling to hang on to the top 5. Christopher Bell
45. Yeah, right at almost 60, 45 laps to go.
Kyle Busch pulls the field.
Kyle Busch pulling the field, but he has got a tough battle behind him. A.J. Allmendinger on his back
Trouble,
bumper.
turn number 19. 3 cars get together. Connor Zilic hard into the outside barrier. Daniel Suarez was the first driver to go spinning in turn number 19. He got punted under braking, put up a big cloud of smoke. Connor Zilic was then freight trained. That Red Bull injury went spinning out of control through the runoff asphalt, past the gravel trap, past the 10 feet of grass, and
have a caution
side first into the barrier. He has come to a rest there and is yet to drive away.
He has crushed that barrier, certainly took a lot of the impact, a lot of damage to the right front of Suarez's machine. Suarez, it looks like he got out of shape, and that then collected the other cars behind them. Let's go down to Brett McMillan.
Daniel Suarez has made it back to his pit. A lot of damage on the right front fender. The crew is over there just taking a look at it right now, trying to evaluate if it's going to be even worth fixing at this point in time. They're pulling the fender away from it now. They haven't even jacked up the car yet. Now they're just kind of standing there staring at it. They're walking back around with the jacks. So we'll see if Daniel Suarez is, in fact, done for the day or not. Alex?
Yeah, the car of Connor Zilic has gone up in flames now. Driver's side still sitting up against the barrier. Safety teams rushing there. The flame is a bright orange flame, is a good 3 feet tall above the hood. The safety team and fire marshals have been able to put the fire out. And Connor Zilic looks like he's climbed out of that race car under his own power. He'll walk around and survey the damage. But frightening scene down here as the left front of that car went up in flames.
Our first caution for cause here in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix takes out 2 Trackhouse teammates. We still have 45 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas.
We have our first caution of the race, guys. So, and here's a rundown of your current positions. Suarez, we'll see what happens with those guys here shortly. I'm not sure if they can fix his car, though. Looks pretty rough. How is everybody doing this Sunday afternoon? Let us know in chat, on the comments, if you're watching this on a watch back. Let us know how you're doing. Hope you're doing amazing, guys. So, beautiful day. Great day for a race. sunny, beautiful day there in Austin, Texas. Cannot beat it. Good barbecue, I'm sure there as well. I could smell the barbecue from here. I'm about 6 hours away.
Here at Circuit of the Americas in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. 45 laps to go from Austin, Texas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
If you have a chance to make a difference in a kid's life, you need to take full.
There, we have our caution underway, guys, if you're just tuning in, so it's crazy. Let's see what's happening. They're fixing to coming back on the radio here.
Yellow flag number 3 out after Daniel Suarez spun. Connor Zilic, his Trackhouse teammate, nowhere to go. Major impact. Takes both of those cars out.
Yeah, really tough with Trackhouse teammates. We'll talk to Connor Zilic at the Infield Care Center, get a report from the garage as well as they're trying to repair the right front of Daniel Suarez's car. It's always nice to welcome some neighbors up here to the booth with us, and a lot of times here in Texas I might talk about neighbors that are a county or two over for me. But now we're talking about neighbors south of the border because NASCAR will race in Mexico City this summer. We are joined now by Rodrigo Sanchez. He is the Chief Marketing Officer for NASCAR Mexico and F1 Mexico Grand Prix. Welcome to Texas, first of all, and more importantly, welcome to NASCAR.
Well, thank you. We're really excited to be here. We've been working closely with NASCAR for about a year now, and we just launched our tickets this week, so I think that's a big milestone for us to host the first ever Cup Series race outside of the U.S.
So what did everybody think of the visit this week with Daniel Suarez, with Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney?
I mean, it was amazing. We had the opportunity, obviously, to take the drivers over to the circuit for them to get, a first glimpse to what our sort of like layout, F1 circuit layout is. So, yeah, we got a lot of feedback from that, and then we took them out to get some tasty tacos, some like lucha libre, some like Mexican wrestling, and then we obviously hosted an event the next day. So, I mean, the response from just the garage has been amazing. Everyone seems to be very excited, and that just makes us obviously, work harder and make sure we have a really special event for you guys waiting in.
We can't wait. Tell us a little bit about the circuit, because here at Circuit of the Americas, we talk about a stadium section. But when we come to the, and forgive me if I mispronounce it, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, we literally have a stadium section there, right?
Yeah, so we're technically, I think, the only circuit in the world that has a race course going in the middle of a stadium. So that stadium actually used to be a professional baseball stadium back in the day that we converted into a concert arena. And when we remodeled the track in 2014 for Formula One, we thought what if we just bring the circuit in through the stadium? And it created a really special thing. And it's been sort of like our little landmark.
I watch a lot of F1, and the way the fans welcome Sergio Perez and that entire F1 crew, it is a major happening when they come to Mexico City. Should be the same thing for NASCAR, right? I think people underestimate just what kind of race fans the Mexican fans are.
No, absolutely. I think we have some of the best fans in the world. They're very, very passionate about motorsport, and I think they've been in love with racing for a very long time, and I would say among all categories. NASCAR was in Mexico 20 years ago, 15 years ago with at the time the Busch Series. So yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously a true passion for that, and it'll be interesting just to see the reaction.
Rodrigo, you mentioned the tickets are on sale now for NASCAR Mexico. The Motor Racing Network is going to be down there covering that race. Unfortunately, I will get to join them as well. But we want to bring a lot of people with us also. So what would you tell anyone listening here in the United States about being able to come down to Mexico City for this very historic event?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a 3-day event. So tickets are going for basically the 3 days. The Cup race will be on the 15th. The Xfinity race will be June 15th. The Xfinity race will be June 14, and then we're co-hosting the NASCAR Mexico series, which is sort of like the local series we have in Mexico with the NASCAR guys. So yeah, it's a 3-day event. All the information is on our website, NASCARMexico.com, and we're welcoming everyone to come and join.
How is the local series looking forward to racing in front of the NASCAR Cup Series drivers and owners?
I mean, it's honestly a big deal because it's obviously been working sort of like, from like a talent recruitment a tool in Mexico to bring sort of like Mexican talent over to the national series. And that's how basically Daniel got here. That's how I actually started my motorsport career, through the NASCAR diversity program as well. So I think it's obviously a big thing to sort of be able to just put them together and for them to just sort of see like what's really ahead for them.
There's the carrot, right? That's the carrot you guys are chasing right there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Rodrigo, thank you so much for coming up. We look forward to heading down to Mexico City for NASCAR Mexico and an amazing race coming up this summer.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon, and welcome to Mexico.
All right, Rodrigo Sanchez from NASCAR Mexico. Check it out at NASCARMexico.com. We'll be back with more of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix.
Huge. Boom. There you go, guys. Who's ready for that race? First time in a long time. I bet it's going to be a beautiful track to see. It's going to be exciting, guys. You excited for this race? Who's going to win? Who will win this race? Here is the rundown of the positions where everybody's at currently. Looks like Connor Zilich and Daniel Suarez may be out. They may be done for the day. That stinks for those guys. Third caution, guys. All right, they're at a commercial break, so you guys are not missing anything on PRN. We're still at a yellow caution, as you can see above me here. Chastain. All right, guys. Don't forget to drop in chat who you guys are watching, who you're rooting for. Here is a rundown before they get it back green for us. PRN.
Welcome back to Austin, Texas, the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas. Brad Gilley alongside of Mark Darrow. Our turn announcers today, we have Rob Albright, Doug Turnbull, Pat Patterson, and joining us from the Motor Racing Network, Alex Hayden on pit road, Wendy Venturini, Heather DeBoe, Brett McMillan. We only had a taker on pit road, Mark. Alex Bowman had to come down, but he was actually serving a penalty for a track limits violation. And we're about to get the one-to-go signal as the field is stacking up side by side. It's going to be interesting with Kyle Busch, A.J. Allmendinger, Shane Van Gisbergen in the top three right now.
Gotta love it. And when they take the green flag, 41 laps to go. Still a long way to go in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. And the lights are out. That Toyota GR Supra, it will hang a left onto pit road. We'll go racing again here at COTA.
We still will have at least one more round of pit stops. And I say one more round, that's all they're going to need on Sunoco fuel. You don't know how the shape of the race can happen here with what we might have with cautions. Obviously, tires are important. Track position might be a little more important.
You never tell how this is all going to work out. Van Gisbergen has been out front 4 times for 20 laps. Kyle Busch 3 times for 13. They have been the class of the field, but Allmendinger has been hanging tough the whole time. He may have something to say about this. And Christopher Bell came on like gangbusters at the end last year. And who's worked his way up to 5th? O.C. Bell, so he's going to have something to say.
Alex Hayden, what do they look like in front of you?
Kyle Busch chooses the inside lane. That's driver's left for the restart. A.J. Allmendinger will be flanking his right elbow for this particular restart. Row 2, Shane Van Gisbergen is there with Michael McDowell. Christopher Bell, William Byron in row number 3. Further back, you've got Chase Briscoe stacked up with Ross Chastain.
Through the EchoPark Automotive restart zone as they exit turn number 20. Kyle Busch gets a great jump on the inside. Christopher Bell trying to make it
Boogity. Let's go, baby.
Inside of
Let's go back racing.
Rob, you got a mess in front of you.
Wow, we'll see if they're able to transverse this corner together. Looks like they will get it done. 3 wide through turn number 1. They'll head 4 wide into turn number 2. And Doug Turnbull, I don't know how they can do that.
As the leader just shakes away here, let's take a look at this 2 and 3 wide battle coming into this as they really want to get into him single file here as they go through turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. Kyle Busch the leader. Christopher Bell's gotten by to 2nd. How about it? Chase Briscoe up to 3rd. William Byron's 4th. Shane Van Gisbergen's fallen all the way back to 6th. And his teammate Ross Chastain is under him at turn 6A.
Kyle Busch exits 6B now and will hammer down to turn number 12. Right behind him, Chris Bell holding on for about a half a car length back or so. Chase Briscoe right in the middle of this mess as well as they're 2x2. Big time racing going back in that 10th through 20th.
Big time racing. Here we go, guys.
Kyle Busch works down into turn number 15. The 20 of Christopher Bell is there. Chase Briscoe is there. William Byron is there. A.J. Allmendinger is there. And Shane Van Gisbergen will make a pass off of 15 as they head to the bridge.
They make their way into turn number 16. Kyle Busch, the race leader.
Busch, Bell, McDowell, Briscoe. SVG drop all the way down to 7th, guys.
Back to Chase Briscoe in 3rd. Another 2.
He's back up to
William
6
Byron
now, it
4th.
shows.
A.J. Allmendinger got dusted up a bit. He's back in the number 5 spot, headed to 20.
Kyle Busch will lead them into that hard left-hander. They use up all of the racetrack as they make the exit. They kick up a little bit of dust. Kyle Busch will lead them across the start-finish line with 40 laps to go. Van Gisbergen has worked his way past Hocevar and Chastain.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
We're on the last stage, guys. We're on stage 3.
All the way to the entrance to turn number 2. Now single file with Kyle Busch setting the
40
pace
laps to go.
Christopher Bell in hot pursuit.
Busch has had, this is not a fluke. Busch has earned this top spot. Started inside the top 10's been there all day and has led a bunch too. He's first. Christopher Bell, 2 car links behind him.
Who
second.
you got, guys? Who you got? Bell, Briscoe, Byron.
Lasso out on him as they go up and down the hill of turn 6. A.J. Allmendinger's lost a couple of spots behind them. Chase Briscoe keeps William Byron at bay for the 3rd spot. Up front, it's Kyle Busch.
So it's Kyle Busch, then Chris Bell exiting 6B. Chase Briscoe is there, William Byron, and A.J. Allmendinger. There's a gap there between Allmendinger and Shane Van Gisbergen. Ross Chastain behind SVG now. Here comes the leader. That's of course Kyle Busch. He works his way around 13 over to 14. Half a car length separate him and 2nd place. Chase Briscoe is right there. Now these drivers in turn number 15. Hard left-hand corner, up through the gearbox and underneath the bridge.
They make their way into turn number 16. A double apex right-hander, completely flat. Everybody in the top 5 right together. That gap back to Shane Van Gisbergen. He also has another 3 back to Ross Chastain. Then a great side-by-side battle begins to shape up. Michael McDowell to driver's left. He is now under attack in turn 19, courtesy of Tyler Reddick.
Coming out of turn number 20, Kyle Busch continues to lead here at Circuit of the Americas as we go down to the Infield Care Center with Brett McMillan.
And here with Connor Zilich, obviously you are okay, walk out of Care Center. What happened from your view?
Yeah, all I saw was a cloud of smoke, and I tried to go right to avoid it, and Suarez was going that direction already. So unfortunate way to end our race, but I'm still really proud of the effort from the entire Trackhouse team, and super cool bringing Red Bull back into the sport.
What was your reaction now? Your quick reaction of your Cup debut?
Yeah, I loved it, right? It was a lot of fun, coming out here and competing against the best. And, I definitely want to come back and do it again and do it more. I really learned a lot today and throughout the time preparing for this. And, I'm excited to get another opportunity again.
Appreciate your time. See you down the road.
Thanks.
Let's go.
That's Connor Zillage.
William Byron has worked his way around Chase Briscoe. Briscoe now has his hands full with A.J.
Allmendinger.
We're about to complete lap number 57 in this race, which still leaves
57,
us, Brad, 38 to go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've got so much happening here, and it looks like Daniel Suarez will be chatting with him shortly. Kyle Busch leads Christopher Bell right now. Chase Briscoe, William Byron. There's a lot of racing happening right up in that section of racetrack. In fact, Alex Hayden, the leaders are coming to you.
Yeah, it's an absolute hornet's nest. Just outside of the top 10, drivers are throwing haymakers at each other. Michael McDowell got roughed up, moved out of the way.
Move out of the way, baby. Let's go.
McDowell's troubles are not over as of yet. Brad Keselowski will slide by to his
SVG
inside.
still in
McDowell's
6th.
troubles still persist as he looks over and sees more cars beginning to line up to take advantage.
So it's Busch, Bell, Byron up front right now here at Kota. Shane Van Gisbergen has worked his way back to 6th. On the restart, he spent so much time trying to block Christopher Bell. Bell finally said to heck with it. He kind of pounded on the back bumper of Van Gisbergen, got him out of shape. He lost a bunch of spots. Now slowly making his way back through as we go back to the Care Center and Brett McMillan.
And Daniel Suarez out of the Care Center. Man, things were going so well today. What happened?
I just hit the curb. And I hit the ground and it spun me out. When you have lower pressure, that's very easy to do because the car is lower to the ground. And it was I wish I can say that it was a big mistake, but it wasn't. It was just a little, maybe a tire with too far to the left that I hit the curb and spun me out.
Encouraging run today?
It was good. We were a top 5, top 10 car for sure. I thought we were going to be a little bit better than that, but we have to continue to work and learn from today.
In Phoenix.
All right, thank you very much, Brett McMillan. Let's give you a full field rundown as the field has reset. Quite a few drivers have worked their way up into the top 10 that have not been there all day. Kyle Busch continues to lead the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. We have 38 laps to go here in this race. Christopher Bell runs 2nd. William Byron, last year's winner, is 3rd. Chase Briscoe, 4th. A.J. Allmendinger is 5th.
Here's a rundown, guys.
Ross Chastain has worked his way up to 7th. Pole sitter Tyler Reddick is 8th. Carson Hocevar running 9th. Justin Haley up in the top 10. He is 10th.
Noah Gragson has just moved to 11th. Ryan Blaney 12th. 13th, Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski 14th. Austin Dillon 15th. 16th is Ryan Preece. McDowell has dropped to 17th. 18th, Chris Buescher. 19th, Ty Gibbs. Chase Elliott has worked his way up to 20th.
Outside pole sitter Bubba Wallace 21st, 22nd Zane Smith. Denny Hamlin after a penalty is actually dropping a little bit. Todd Gilliland is 23rd. Hamlin actually moved up to 21st. Riley Herbst is 24th. 25th is Josh Berry. Austin Cindric, who's struggled all weekend, he is 26th. 27th Eric Jones. John Hunter Nemechek 28th. 29th Cole Custer. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 30th.
31st Ty Dillon. 32nd Alex Bowman. Cody Ware 33rd. Michael McDowell has just pitted. That drops him back to 34th, the last car on the lead lap. -1 in 35th, Kyle Larson. Daniel Suarez is out. He'll get credit for 36th. Also out of this race, involved in the same incident, rookie Connor Zillage. The 18-year-old will finish 37th.
That leaderboard update brought to you by State Water Heaters. When you need a
brought to you by
water
Kim
heater,
Ronator here on YouTube, guys. Be sure to drop a like on this stream. Spread this out to everybody. Let's get more people in here, guys. We got 10 people in.
Learn how thousands of smart homeowners are investing about $1 to.
I'll mute that so you guys don't have to listen to commercials. So stay here with us. We got the animated track above us here. It's following the whole field, so it is kind of hard to see possibly on your side. So, but if you're watching from a mobile device, you can pinch to zoom on the screen on a tablet, a phone. If you're on a PC, just try to make it a big screen as possible. But here is the current layout, information below. So thank you guys for stopping in here today. Hope you're having an amazing Sunday here. We're live. Green bar, green flag. We're on lap 14 of 50 on stage 3, guys. Stay with us here. Who is going to win this race? SVG is currently sitting in 6th. We got AJ is 5th. Chase Briscoe 4th. William Byron 3rd. Christopher Bell 2nd. And Kyle Busch 1st.
Get underway here shortly.
Yeah,
from the capital city of Texas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
And they're back to a commercial. So I'll mute that for you guys so you don't have to listen to that. Stay here with me, guys. We got the chat open. Keep it family friendly. On the last stage of this race, ladies and gentlemen. How about it? Guys, this is never over till it's over. Anything can happen. We've seen it last year, years past, so never give up on your drivers, guys. No matter what place they're in, anything can happen. So, curious to see how this one unfolds. Bum, bum. We got the PRN we'll bring back in as soon as they're done with the commercial break. We'll bring that back in live with us here. And here's another quick view of the full field right now. That's the full field. And here is back. And here's PRN coming back.
Noah Gregson has moved into 10th. He kind of shoved Carson Hocevar out of the way in turn 6B. And he takes over that spot. He brings along with him Ryan Blaney. So Hocevar goes from 10th to 12th, moved Gregson up to 10th, Blaney 11th.
Mark, I think that might have been a bit of a payback as well, as Hocevar was getting a little aggressive with Noah Gregson. And we know that's something Gregson will not put up with. Pat Patterson, the leaders,
not at all.
You.
Yes, they are. Kyle Busch working turn at number 13, about a car length and a half back to Christopher Bell, who has really just stayed right there in his mirror the whole time for the last 3 or 4 laps. Here's Bell once again, pulls right up to the back of the Busch car as they exit turn 15. It's a long way back to the 3rd place of William Byron.
William Byron, outside of the start of the race and restarts, has basically been running by himself under green flag conditions. Most of the time in the back half of the top 5, but Byron right now settles in the number 3 spot. Tightening up at the front of the field, Christopher Bell under braking, much more aggressive in the corners.
Last lap, Bell just a tick quicker than Kyle Busch. Back in the 3rd spot, William Byron was 3rd fast. Here is Busch again leading them out of turn 20. They'll cross the stripe, 34 laps to go as they head back to turn 1.
As was the case a week ago, Christopher Bell saving the best for the last. As we've entered the second half of this race, he gets stronger and stronger. Qualified 19th, has raced his way to the 2nd spot and is stalking the race leader, Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, though, coming down the hill, exiting turn 2 a little bit wider than Bell does, trying to set up those S's the right way. He goes left in turn 3, down
left,
the hill, right in turn 4, left again in turn 5. 3-car length lead up and down the hill through turn 6 as Kyle Busch.
34 laps to go, guys.
Back to William Byron.
34.
The leaders go through turn 6A right now very cleanly as the battle's tightening up for the 4th spot with A.J. Allmendinger and Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, watching that battle, Allmendinger only about a half a car length back from Briscoe's number 19. They work down the backstretch. Allmendinger takes a look, shows him the hood just for a moment there. Now falls back in line. Allmendinger really pressuring Briscoe up here in turn number 13. Going to dive inside. AJ's going to try to make a move, pick up a spot. Van Gisbergen right behind. Those 2 cars stay locked together now. They race into turn
SVG's trying to get around. Can he get around?
AJ to the outside. They stay locked together and will continue to battle all the way up to the EchoPark Bridge.
A.J. Allmendinger just bullying on Chase Briscoe. Briscoe will have none of it, however. Now Shane Van Gisbergen will jump into this fray. 3 cars knotted together down the short straightaway.
They're fighting it out, guys.
Briscoe will get through the corner far better than Allmendinger, and he'll begin to gap Allmendinger by a car length.
That's 4th, 5th, and 6th as Kyle Busch still leads Christopher Bell and William Byron. But let's pick up that battle as they come out of turn number 20. Chase Briscoe sitting in that 4th spot, being chased still by A.J. Allmendinger with Shane Van Gisbergen looking at the 2.
The fight for 4th taking place a full half-front straightaway behind the race leader. Here comes Allmendinger, very deep on the bottom into turn number 1.
Allmendinger.
Crossing over is Chase Briscoe. They'll race side by side off 2. Advantage back to Briscoe momentarily.
Forward now as
Let's
AJ
go.
Allmendinger door checks him to the inside. Pulls
Who's
to
gonna
his
get it?
outside now through turns 3 and 4. Move Allmendinger up into that 4th position there. They're about 12, 14 car lengths back from 3rd place William Byron. It goes Allmendinger, Briscoe, and Van Gisbergen as Briscoe charges to the inside of Allmendinger there, but can't quite get it done off of turn 6A. He'll try to get here in 6B in front of you, Pat.
Here comes Briscoe one more time. Going to go to work on A.J. Allmendinger. Down the straightaway they go into turn number 12.
Get it?
Allmendinger down through the gearbox. There's Briscoe. Stays right with him. Van Gisbergen only a half a car length back. By the way, this battle here is pulling the 45 car back into the mix. And of course, that's Tyler Reddick, the pole sitter. Here's again this battle going into turn number 15. Allmendinger has that spot. Briscoe wants it. He gives him a little bit of a shove, gets him a little bit sideways, can't quite make the pass.
A.J. Allmendinger took the milk money of Chase Briscoe last lap. Briscoe's trying to get his nickel back right now. Allmendinger hangs on to the spot. Chase Briscoe slips here in turn number 18. That'll give up a car length. Now standing on the brakes in the 19th corner of the circuit. Allmendinger, Briscoe, and Shane Van Gisbergen just simply watching this battle.
Also a little farther back, Keselowski, Priest, Buscher, Ty Gibbs, they've taken off the gloves and been going after each other. Here are the leaders across the stripe. 32 laps to go in this race. Again, Christopher Bell trying to close in on Kyle Busch.
And behind them, it is William Byron who's making up a bit of ground on both of them, but the fight continues for that 4th position, having lost today.
Who's going to get it?
Chase Briscoe is not going away quietly.
No, he's not.
These guys are going to fight it out. SVG's right in it too, guys.
Chase Briscoe starting to lose sight.
A lot of racing left.
And right behind Briscoe, the guy with the big target on his back today, Shane Van Gisbergen. Let's pick him up. Van Gisbergen in that 7th spot. Angles are like diamonds the corner to get into turn 6, but Briscoe cuts him off. Then Gisbergen's going to try it again at 6B.
Yeah, Van Gisbergen looks very strong, going to get side by side, shows him the nose just momentarily, talking about Briscoe. This battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now through turn number 12. AJ with a half a car length down in front of Briscoe. Briscoe under attack by SVG.
There we
SVG
go.
goes to the outside. Now swing back, go right back to the bumper. And he gets another opportunity down here in turn number 15. Once again, SVG.
He's trying to get around him.
That Briscoe car is shoved, gets his quarter panel up to the door. They're side by side at the EchoPark.
Who's going to get it?
They're going to have to negotiate turn number 16 now. Still wheel to wheel for that spot.
Man,
However,
the TV went to
Chase Briscoe will take it away.
brief commercial
Van
here.
Gisbergen
Dang
with
it.
a crossover to driver's
Come on.
right. Side by
Get
side.
that off.
Flip-flop positions into turn number 19. Advantage goes to Briscoe. Again, Van Gisbergen thinks about a crossover.
PRN to keep us up.
Of his Camaro in turn 20.
It'll be 31 laps to go this time by here in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix, and that battle comes off at turn number 20. Shane Van Gisbergen able to take it away, and it looks like Chase Briscoe is going to lose another spot to a Toyota teammate as we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
There we get a pause. We'll bring it back here. SVG, guys. He's in 5th. Can he get another spot here? What do you think? Let us know in chat. Will SVG gain another spot? He's moving
into
up.
the closing stages here at Kota. Still 31 laps
Kota.
on the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. And a great battle. Shane Van Gisbergen back there battling. And finally is able to wrestle that spot away from Chase Briscoe.
We have a battle for the lead in front of Pat Patterson.
Christopher Bell almost had that back in the short chute. He is really working hard on Kyle Busch. Something went off an alarm in Chris Bell's car that said, I need to go lead this race. Down to 15 they go. Bell once again now by about a half a car length back. He is after that number 8 car of Kyle Busch as they head to the bridge.
They make their way into turn number 16. Christopher Bell will yield.
Bell is right there on Busch.
Kyle Busch. Now some cloud cover comes over the circuit. Kyle Busch manages to keep that gap consistent to now up to 3 car lengths. As Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell go 1-2. William Byron beginning to close in just a bit in the number 3 spot.
As the leaders come out of turn number 20 and hit the front straightaway, we have 30 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas.
A lot of racing left here. Here's a rundown of the current positions, guys, while they're on a commercial break. Who is your driver? Who you guys rooting for? Let us know in chat. Be sure to hit the like button if you have not. And if you don't like this content, let me know. Love to hear from you guys. Let us know in chat. Love to hear from you guys. So, let's go, baby. PRN's on a commercial break. We've got it paused so you guys don't have to listen to that.
And go. Kyle Busch continues to lead Christopher Bell with 30 laps to go here in the EchoPark
30 laps, guys.
Grand Prix from Austin,
30 laps.
Texas. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We're on the PRN network, guys. So, free radio network. We're listening to it. We're bringing you the best coverage here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the race above us here. You can see it, kind of animated graph, where they're at, all the drivers, information below us. You can pinch to zoom on a mobile device, tablet, on a PC. It's not as easy, but if you got a bigger screen. So, hope you guys have an amazing day. Here's a quick overview of the top 35 drivers, where they're sitting at. Bam! We're back here, guys. I need those likes up, though, guys. I know we're not going to reach 50 likes. We'll drop our goal down. It's been a while since I've been on the stream. Here we go. We'll drop it down to just 10. Let's try that. Let's see if that helps us. Thank you for those likes, guys. I appreciate it. Those help the stream out. They're free. They don't cost anything. Help boost our algorithm and beat YouTube's algorithm. Here's the radio back, guys.
We're in the third and final stage of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix here at Circuit of the Americas. And when I look, Brad, at the top five, Allmendinger and Van Gisbergen in fourth and fifth. Road racing aces, no surprise. William Byron third. He won the race last year. Bell, he was the runner-up last year. And if anybody's surprised about Kyle Busch being there, let's not forget, when he came here with Richard Childress the first time in 2023, he was the runner-up, was also top 10 a year ago. So we shouldn't be really shocked by our top five right now.
Kyle Busch is a good racer on any track, and there is no question about that. And Kyle Busch has led the most laps at 25 of the 66 we have run so far. 29 laps to go. Alex Hayden, let's throw it out to you because we're hearing we might be closer and closer to green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where these fuel tanks are starting to run dry, and these race cars are getting.
They are. They're getting down.
Need some new tires as well.
Big Canes, thank you for the subscription there. Welcome, Kimbronator family. Hope you're having an amazing day, my friend. Thank you again. I appreciate those likes and subscriptions.
Make this pit stop. We saw a year ago Christopher Bell pitted late. Those fresh tires made a huge difference, but he ran out of time. Didn't quite get back to the number one spot, get back to William Byron. So at this point, if Kyle Busch pits first, everybody's coming, right?
I would think
everybody's
so. Remember, last year, Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens had him on a two-stop strategy, everyone else on a three-stop strategy. That dictated when they had to pit. It also dictated the fact that they needed 13 seconds to dump Sunoco fuel into his car.
So the choice comes right now for Randall Burnett, the crew chief for Kyle Busch. Do you try to pit him first ahead of everybody, or do you react once maybe a Christopher Bell or Byron or Allmendinger comes in? Let's go to Brett McMillan.
Bubba Wallace is coming to stop in his pit stall. The balance was the best it's been during this last run. They're going to give him a four-tire change, no adjustment. Drop the car, peel out. 9.4 seconds on the stop.
All right, so Bubba Wallace started this race on the outside pole. Had an issue early with the track limits violation. That set him back a little bit. Then Charles Denike, his crew chief, kept him out to win stage number one, but that also set them back because it was only Bubba Wallace and one other car, Joey Logano, that stayed out in stage number one. That relegated them to the back of the field.
Down to 28 laps, guys. 28 laps to go.
Right now, Kyle Busch has pulled away from Christopher Bell. He's begun to gap him. The last lap, Allmendinger in the fourth spot ran the quickest lap.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have some more takers coming by this time. Kyle Busch will stay out on the circuit, as will Christopher Bell. William Byron is going to be the first one to dive onto the pit road. We're also hearing more drivers in the top 10 are going to make their way down pit road, so we'll get those stops to you. This will be the final stop here at Circuit of the Americas as we go to Heather DeBow.
Kota.
And William Byron telling his team right now that he needs just a little bit of rear lateral grip, and they were wondering how long they were going to stay out. They wanted to stay out as long as possible so that they could have fresher tires here towards the end. Wendy Venturini.
Ross Chastain's crew chief Phil Surgeon asked him if he was sliding in the rear. He said only at the start, and then it goes away. 4 tires, Sunoco
They're
fuel.
in, getting that Sunoco fuel, guys.
Briscoe, he was saying he needs forward drive and more rear grip. He said he's also too tight on the slow left-handers. Brett McMillan.
Tyler Reddick is in. He's been searching for grip during this entire day. He had a 10.4-second stop with a 4-tire change. Also coming in, Carson Hocevar. He's been pretty happy with his car. He's getting a 4-tire change as well, as he's getting no adjustments, just outside a little air pressure, and that's about it for him.
So the top 2 cars, Busch and Bell, have not pitted. And I got to believe, Brad, they've got to react to this, and they've got to react to it immediately.
I would agree. I think this is going to force the hand of what Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell are doing out there on the circuit right now as they make their way through the stadium section under the EchoPark Automotive Bridge and in front of Alex Hayden.
Kyle Busch running qualifying type laps right now, wants to put as much gap between himself and the rest of the field as possible with the impending pit stop.
And here's another look at the whole field,
now.
guys.
Sun will hit his windshield. We'll find out if Kyle Busch will come to pit lane. The answer is yes. Here comes the race leader. He'll come in. Second place, Christopher Bell will stay on the track.
So Bell stays out. Busch is on the pit lane. Let's go to Heather DeBow.
And the team Randall Burnett telling the team, no mistakes right here, guys. Kyle Busch just telling his crew chief that it takes too long to fire off and get going. So they're going to try to give him a little bit more speed when he starts out here, but 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel for Kyle Busch.
Thank you very
Kyle
much.
Busch is in the
Bell
pit.
Now has made it up through turn number 1.
What's going to happen
He's
here?
Going down the hill right now. He'll head toward the S's and Doug Turnbull.
Exiting turn number 2 here,
26 laps to
Bell
go.
is now your race leader with Kyle Busch having come to pit road in the last lap. He makes his way right over the rumble strips at turns 4 and 5. The second place car is about 2
coming
seconds
back out
behind,
now.
and that is A.J. Allmendinger. Third for now until pit stops happen is Shane Van Gisbergen, who's about 3 seconds behind A.J. Allmendinger.
Christopher Bell now exits onto the straightaway backstretch here as he heads towards turn number 12.
Can he catch him? Can SVG catch up with Bell?
Safely through turn number 12.
But he hasn't pitted yet either.
Works his way out here to make another right-hand turn. Left-hander in turn 12. Right-hander here in 13. Touches the base over in 14 real quick and will race down into the hard left-hand corner, which is turn number 15. A.J. Allmendinger is clearly in sight with Shane Van Gisbergen. Those cars now racing under the EchoPark Bridge.
It's Christopher Bell. His car is skating
Bell
over the racetrack as his tires
he's
are going.
sliding a little
A.J.
bit.
Allmendinger is doing the same, as is Shane Van Gisbergen. Here's the race leader, Christopher Bell, now under braking in turn number 19. That's the lefty. Let's see if Adam Stevens elects to bring his driver to pit lane this time. The answer to that question will be no. However, second place currently, A.J. Allmendinger. He will come to pit road.
Kyle Busch,
AJ's coming in.
Brad, I'm sorry, is out. Kyle Busch got out ahead of William Byron, so that may play here late in the race.
That is a big thing right there. Let's go to Brett McMillan.
Comes out, so Bell and SVG. When would they pit?
Long trip down pit road. He's in the third to last pit stall. His crew was waving the sign, waiting for him to arrive at his pit stall. He's been happy with the car. Feels like the grip's pretty good. The balance has been pretty good. Tear off is gone.
Good.
The right side tires are on. Slight air pressure adjustment for him this time. They're taking the left side tires off. They go on. Good stop for AJ's team. 10.2 seconds.
Christopher Bell is who turned 6A right now, about 3.5 seconds ahead of the Shane Van Gisbergen machine as Bell exits 6B.
Yeah, Bell will work his way back down here to turn number 12. The racetrack fairly quiet right now while all of these cars are on the other end of the racetrack. The leader is back over here in turn number 13. Lets the car veer out to his left. Now we'll work back to driver's right through turn number 13 over to 14. Shane Van Gisbergen, the only car that Bell can see in his mirror now as they work into turn number 15. Back up through the gearbox. Christopher Bell brings that number 20 underneath the EchoPark Bridge.
Delicately working their way through turn number 16.
Pitting is crucial in certain times.
Shane Van Gisbergen,
So
about 25 or 30 car lengths or so. More cloud cover and a passing cloud wanting to get a glimpse of this race as Christopher Bell now comes up off turn number 19. He'll keep his car on the racetrack for the moment. Now he'll stab the brakes. The race leader now coming to pit lane.
Yep.
Christopher Bell coming to pit lane. That means that Shane Van Gisbergen will assume the lead as he still needs to pit. We'll go down to Heather DeBow.
And the
I think it'd be key for him to go ahead and
awaiting
pit
the
now, get it out of the way.
20 car into his pit box. Christopher Bell telling his team that the rear tires are just going away, but no other complaints other than that. So they're going to do a 4-tire change here and some Sunoco fuel for the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Yeah, we're almost down here to 20 laps. 24 laps to go.
On the circuit, we have 24 laps to go here at the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix.
Hi,
All right, guys, we're counting down here. We're at a commercial break on PRN. Stay with us here. Here's a full rundown of the current race leaders. SVG, he's probably going to pit here. He's got to pit here soon. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Todd Gillen, Alex Bowman, AJ Allmendinger, and Tyler Reddick. So let's see what happens here, guys. All righty. SVG's led 20 laps of the 71 laps in this race so far. So
to go in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix from Circuit of the Americas, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
They're back off to commercial. We'll pause that so you don't have to listen to that, guys. Stay here with us. We're right here at the end of this race. Who do you have? Who will take the checkered flag? Let us know in chat. Let us know where you're watching from as well, if you have not already, guys. Love to hear from you. Kim Ronator here, branding you NASCAR Sunday at COTA, Circuit of America in Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. And you can see beside me here, this is our goals. We're at 8. We got 8 likes, current views, current sub goal. Let's keep smashing it away. Thank you guys so much for your support. And if you don't like this style of content, I totally understand, guys. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but those of you guys that like it, I appreciate you coming in here and clicking on the stream today. We have SVG is still in the lead. Byron, Cindric, and Bell. Let's see if we get it back on PRN. Here we go.
Back here at Circuit of the Americas, where Ryan
Kota
Blaney has just given up the second place position to hit pit road for the final time. He was way freer through the carousels. Then the last run, they made a slight air pressure adjustment, 4 tires, and Sunoco fuel. We're going to see how this all cycles out on these final 23 laps.
Here's the leaders, Shane Van Gisbergen underneath the EchoPark Bridge.
As he makes his way into turn number 16. Now second place is Kyle Busch. He does not have to stop again. Kyle Busch multiple seconds behind, no cars between them. Shane Van Gisbergen now on the short straightaway between the final 2 corners. Is he coming to pit road now or not? The answer is no. Shane Van Gisbergen will stay out at least one more lap.
Kyle Busch between 1.1 and 1.2 seconds faster than SVG on the fresher tires. He flashes by our position here on the front stretch, and now we have 22 laps to go as SVG heads back to 1.
You have to believe that he's hoping for a caution flag, because when he makes his pit stop, he's going to be a good distance behind if we do not see a yellow. All by himself. Nobody literally within a half mile of him either direction.
And that is Shane Van Gisbergen through turns 2 and 3 very smoothly. I was listening a moment ago to see if maybe he was
see him up here
trying to save fuel or do something to shorten the pit stop. It didn't seem that way here in front of my station at turn 6 as SVG enters turn 6A right now.
Here's 88. There's SVG. You can see how far they're behind him here.
It looks like he's flying right now, trying to maybe put as much distance as he possibly can between himself and Kyle Busch. It'll be amazing to me if he doesn't head to the pit road here pretty quick as he works through turn number 12.
Wonder how long he can last.
That right-hand corner, SVG, very smart, very fast, over to turn number 14 now, and he'll head to 15. Just to give you an idea, Kyle Busch is just now entering turn number 12. SVG up through the gearbox, headed to through 15 and past the bridge.
Shane Van Gisbergen, after his pit stop, will have the freshest Goodyears of anybody on the racetrack. Question will be, however, Can he make that work, and can they get the job done on the pit lane to make him competitive track position-wise with Kyle Busch, who's now second?
When will he drop?
Through the rumble strips, and he's coming to pit lane. Shane Van Gisbergen.
And we'll see what Alex Hayden said if that plays
out.
How
fast can he get in and out of that?
Pressure tires, maybe the strategy from crew chief Stephen Duran as we go to Brett McMillan.
And I think you guys just nailed it. He's coming to pit road at least a lap, maybe 2 laps earlier than they expected. He was clearly losing ground, but I think, Alex, you nailed it. I think they were believing that they put him out there with the freshest Goodyear tires, hoping that Goodie stays with them longer and better to get him a good, strong finish. They're around to the left side of the car. He's been complaining about lack of grip. Well, he's going to have good grip with this set of tires, and he's got a 10.4-second stop to go with it.
So as SVG comes off the pit lane, Kyle Busch is already working in turn number 2 as he assumes the lead again with William Byron 2.4 seconds behind.
Yes, and we'll have to see what happens once they cycle back around, just how many spots Shane Van Gisbergen did lose on the racetrack. Right now, looking at him on the racetrack, it looks like he's at least behind Chase Briscoe, who is currently being shown up in the 7th position when you start to move the scoreboard right now. They've lost a lot of spots, but the big question is, you look at Briscoe right now, 13 seconds behind leader Kyle Busch. Can Shane Van Gisbergen make up 13 to 14 seconds mark with just 21 laps to go here in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix?
That's a 17-second lead to a 13-second deficit. We'll have to see how this all plays out.
We will have to see for sure. Pat Patterson, the new race leader, is in front of you.
Yes, he is. Kyle Busch now just making his way.
Kyle Busch.
Number 15. William Byron, by the way, is, I believe, closing a little bit. Alex, I don't know what you can see, but it appears to me that 24 car is really going after the 8.
I agree, Pat, but I would suspect that Kyle Busch is just simply managing his Goodyear tires. With a healthy lead right now that Kyle Busch has, no need to wear the tires any more than you have to, knowing the fact that Shane Van Gisbergen, with plenty of time still in this race, has the freshest tires.
Kyle Busch, definitely the master of being able to manage a lead. And Mark, Kyle sometimes is not going the fastest. He's just going as fast as he needs.
So right now, let's measure the gaps for you as Busch goes by. We've got 20 laps to go. 2.3 back to Byron, 5.3 back to Bell. Van Gisbergen, 7.2 seconds behind. A.J. Allmendinger is 10.8. Now make that 10.2. Reddick is 10.8 as he passes Chase Briscoe. So Busch in the driver's seat right now. He has led this race 5 times for 29 laps. Van Gisbergen has led it 5 times for 23.
And Shane Van Gisbergen did drop once they crossed the start-finish line to that 7th spot behind Chase Briscoe.
Dropped
Let's
down.
give you a full field rundown here with 20 laps to go.
Not sure if he's got it today.
Automotive Grand Prix. Kyle Busch leads William Byron by 2.
There's a lot to happen here.
Christopher Bell running
20 laps to go.
A.J. Allmendinger. 5th is Tyler Reddick. Chase Briscoe is 6th.
10 likes, guys. We hit 10 likes. Thank you so much. Smash that one.
Up to 10.
11th
drop it down. We got to bump it up a little bit. We always got to keep increasing, guys. We never stop. We keep striving. Let's bump it up to 15. Thank you for those likes. Ladies and gentlemen, 15 now. We'll just keep punching it up higher and higher.
20th.
Austin Dillon, 21st. Denny Hamlin, 22nd. Ty Gibbs is 23rd. 24th is Michael McDowell. Austin Cindric, 25th. Todd Gilliland, 26th. Zane Smith, 27th. 28th is John Hunter Nemechek. Cody Ware, 29th. And Eric Jones in 30th.
31st is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Josh Berry, 32nd. 33rd is Cole Custer. 34th is Ty Dillon, the last car on the lead lap. -1 in 35th is Kyle Larson after he lost a right front tire. Penalties to come on that team this week. Daniel Suarez is out. He'll get credit for 36th. Connor Zilic got taken out by Suarez. He'll finish last today in 37th.
That leaderboard update brought to you by Hunt Brothers Pizza, where we love racing and we love pizza. Find your next pizza at huntbrotherspizza.com or download the Hunt Brothers Pizza app. We have 19 laps to go
19 laps to go, guys.
Kyle Busch,
Kota,
race leader in front of Doug Turnbull.
He is coming through turn 6A right now with a healthy lead over second place William Byron. We need to mention Christopher Bell, too, who lost ground in that pit sequence there, and Byron leapfrogged him there as Bell exits 6B.
Yeah, Bell hustling for all he's worth right now, trying to catch up to these two in front of him. The leader is through turn number 12. Kyle Busch works his car over to driver's left, under braking now, makes his way through turn at number 13. Bell, to me, appears like he is gaining some ground on the number 24 car of William Byron. Behind those two, a good battle going on through turn 13 with A.J. Allmendinger and Tyler Reddick. SVG now also making a pass.
Let's go SVG.
He gets around Chase Briscoe.
I like SVG.
His way up as
He's
well.
like usually an underdog.
Once again, they're through the bridge over here in turn 13.
Shane Van Gisbergen with the freshest tires. It took him a solid 2.5 to 3 laps before he passed his first race car. He's done that now, but he has got a monumental gap before he can get to the bumper of the next driver. That would be Tyler Reddick, who's now pestering A.J. Allmendinger back to turn number 20.
Van Gisbergen 5 seconds behind Reddick, 15 seconds behind the leader Kyle Busch. And remember, Kyle Busch is in the midst of a 59-race losing drought. His last victory, Gateway 2023. He's back up to 1.
And he enters turn number 2. The fight now for position is in turn number 1. That's where Tyler Reddick will move to the inside and bypass A.J. Allmendinger. Move him up a spot. That gives him the 4th spot. Moves Allmendinger back to 5th.
The battle is still feisty there for that 5th position as Tyler Reddick getting hounded by Los Gatos, California's A.J. Allmendinger. They come through the S's right now as the leader Kyle Busch exits turn 6B. Reddick starting to pull away from Allmendinger.
Kyle Busch has nobody in front of him whatsoever. Normally, traffic in any of these races becomes a factor. Doesn't appear that it's going to be a factor whatsoever. Kyle Busch working now, turn number 13. Christopher Bell getting ever so closer to that 24 car, which runs in that 2nd place as we again see the battle between Reddick and A.J. Allmendinger. Here's the leader again, Kyle Busch, through turn number 15 as he heads under the bridge.
They tiptoe their way through this portion of the circuit.
Trouble in turn 6A. 2 cars are crashing. Austin Dillon and Denny Hamlin made hard contact there. Austin Dillon make that Denny Hamlin dive bomb Dillon right in front of me here, and Dillon appears stuck.
And we got our caution out.
Started back at the S's where Dillon was all over Hamlin. Hamlin paid it back here.
And what does this do to us?
Hamlin is leaving turn 6B as the caution's out now. Dillon's car's still stuck.
That'll be caution
he's stuck in
number 4
the
here
gravel.
At EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix.
Man.
18 laps to go. This is going to be a wild ride the next time we head through the EchoPark Automotive restart
Yeah, he's spinning in the gravel. He can't even get out of it. Austin Dillon, man, that stinks. We've got our second caution, guys. I'm not sure why this is not updating. Come on. There we go. I think he's okay. They can probably just pull him up on the... He just went in the gravel and he's stuck in the gravel. They're showing a replay. It looks like they just kind of nudged. Yeah.
The caution as Austin Dillon's car is about to be pulled out of the gravel trap. We have 17 laps to go in the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. This is PRN, the performance.
There's an update. They're trying to pull him out, so hopefully they'll get it back soon. 17 laps to go. Here's your rundown. Here's what we're looking at currently. Kyle Busch, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, A.J. Allmendinger is in 5th. So starting in the 6th position, you got SVG, Chase Briscoe 7th, Ross Chastain 8th, Justin Haley 9th, Ryan Blaney 10th, Christopher Buescher 11th, Ryan Priest 12th, Chase Elliott 13th, Bubba Wallace 14th, Noah Gragson 15th, Joey Logano 16th, Riley Hurst 17th, Carson Hocevar 18th, Brad Kowalski, 19th. Ty Gibbs is in the 20th position, guys. And then you can see 21st through 35th. So, right here, guys, 17 laps to go. Who will take the checkered flag? Who do you guys think? Let us know in chat. My chat, let me see. Sometimes chat messes up on here and I can't tell.
Welcome back to the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas. We have 17 laps to go, and we will take you commercial-free to the checkered flag presented by Toyota. For the latest Toyota Gazoo racing information, visit tgrna.com. And, Mark, it looks like for Austin Dillon, it was actually actions detrimental from Denny Hamlin.
As Doug Turnbull described it, Denny definitely had a mission. For whatever reason, he had a mission right there, and it was to take out Austin Dillon.
All right, he came from way back, too, to do it. It wasn't as if they made light contact at 6 and that sent him. Hamlin looked like he didn't hardly break in turn 6 there, and it not only cost Austin Dillon, but it also cost Hamlin, who has a flat right front tire. Wendy Venturini.
On my end of pit road, it's going to be Riley Herbst coming for tires. There was a question if some of those guys in 5th or 6th were going to pit. They did not. Heather DeVoe.
And also in under here to get some fresh Goodyear tires is
16
Chase
laps.
Briscoe. They opted to come in and see if that could help them make their way up through the field should they get another caution. Brett McMillan.
4-tire change for Bubba Wallace. 10 seconds flat for him. Also when Carson Hocevar decides he can use some fresh rubber, he gets 4 fresh tires and some Sunoco fuel as well. Heather DeBow.
Some Sunoco fuel.
They're going to work on that right side to pull out the fender on the right rear of that car, and they're also going to do a 4-tire change and no fuel for the 11.
Now we're listening to some of the radio chatter, or we're seeing some of the transcript from the radio chatter. There's a lot of discussions out there, the language a little bit blue at this point, drivers getting a little upset, so this may not be the final yellow flag we get of the day. It may be payback coming through this pack.
You hear that? Maybe payback.
Denny Hamlin. I mean, that's a T-bone special right there. Didn't even try to slow up.
If this was the NFL, just to give you an idea, this would have been contact that would have sat a player out for multiple games. I mean, it was like he almost forgot or didn't forget that a corner was coming, but he just drove straight into Dillon.
It's like the guy who makes a tackle when the guy's already, past that white part of the out of bounds.
Dillon's car is dropping rocks all over the track.
Kind of like that. Denny Hamlin definitely meant to get that, unless, of course, there's major brake failure, but I have a hard time believing that would be the case. And again,
gravel all over the track
now. Byron came on pit road ahead of everybody. Busch came in ahead of Bell. Bell came in front of Allmendinger, and Van Gisbergen came in behind all the rest of them, and has about a 15-second deficit, has now disappeared. He gets a chance to pull up and challenge for the race, and his tire's a little bit fresher than everybody else. Allmendinger's a little bit fresher than everybody but SVG.
Okay, this is about to get even better. Karma for Denny Hamlin. And we have not seen him do this that often lately. A speeding penalty on pit road. Denny Hamlin's going to have to restart at the back with Austin Dillon. It's also worth noting Kyle Larson 2 laps down after a right front wheel fell off of his car. That was a 2-lap penalty. It'll be a 2-race suspension for a couple of crew members for the next 2 weeks for Phoenix and Las Vegas as well. But now Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon are going to be restarting this race together. But really, the fight's going to be up front and in the back of the field.
And again, the radio chatter that we're hearing, there are a number of drivers talking about how stupid some of this stuff is and all that. So we know Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon are not happy with each other right now, but no idea what's going on in the middle of that pack. There's some guys unhappy, but we don't know who they're unhappy with.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So the field is coming by, being towed by the Toyota GR.
I'm going to pull up the audio.
15 laps to go. We saw a couple of years ago that when the caution started, they continued because we have a dicey turn number 1. But let's give you a full field rundown where we set now with.
Started about where you're at years ago. Went to the right, braked in paint, the 1.
That's some of the drivers. I'm not sure who that is.
Rolls them out. Laps like the 19 did, but I don't really see a bunch of those guys doing that, except for the 1, but he would be, a row back. So whatever you think, we'll do it.
Yeah. I mean, the outside's really dirty through turn 1.
Scanning all the drivers' channels.
Okay, whatever you want to do here. While you're there, too, the 20 has been very aggressive at 6 of getting all 4 in the blue. Just so you know, maybe keep an eye out for that once you guys get strung out.
Let's see what happens. We'll put it back on the radio.
in front of you here.
It worked out good for us. We lost control of the race. That was kind of our play. Get fresher tires, hope for a caution, and hopefully we work our way back by these guys.
You got a guy who can do it. He's a pretty good wheelman here in the road courses, isn't he?
Oh, he's unbelievable. Fun to work with, fun to watch. Team's done a great job. Hope we can finish it off here.
Good luck rest of the way. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's Stephen Doran. He's a crew chief for SVG, and as you guys talked about, they stayed out, got the fresh rubber, and now the field's all condensed for them.
And, of course, they've had the race a little bit under green, so, again,
SVG.
A little bit of the goodie.
Can you pull it out, ladies and gentlemen?
The rundown at 20th. 21st, Bubba Wallace, Brian Priest, 22nd. 23rd is Chase Elliott, Carson Hocevar, 24th. 25th is Riley Herbst, Brad Keselowski, 26th. 27th, John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, 28th. Zane Smith, 29th. 30th, Kyle Larson.
31st is Michael McDowell, Cole Custer 32nd, Ty Dillon 33rd, Denny Hamlin running in 34th right now. Austin Dillon is now -2 laps, and he will restart next to Denny Hamlin. He's 35th. Out of the race, a couple of Trackhouse teammates in the same accident. Daniel Suarez will finish 36th, and in his rookie debut, Connor Zilich, out of the race, he will finish 37th.
That's
wow. It's kind of setting up here for another wild finish at Circuit of the Americas. And
Kota.
Look, we've had two great finishes to start the year. You know, robbed a little bit with the yellow flag last week in
Haystar still got the lights on, so hopefully they'll turn them off soon.
But it was still a great race, and we had a great Daytona 500. Again, looks like we're going to go 3 for 3 for excitement here to start the year.
When we restart, it's actually going to be 13 laps to go. They actually had to clean the track because of all the gravel that Austin Dillon put on the track after he was pulled out of the gravel pit. No fault of Austin Dillon on that, but they had to clean the track. But Rob Albright, I know you remember a couple of years ago when this race went almost caution-free up until it didn't, and then your section of the track turned out to be one of the most action spots here in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I really cover less of the track than anybody in our broadcast team, but, you know, it kind of makes up for it every time we have a restart. Every time a caution flag comes out, I just know it's time to gird up the loins and go after every one of these drivers. And for these spotters, I'm on a scaffold here at the exit of turn number 1 with the spotters. Kind of looked around to see who might be moving or who might be talking to each other, maybe getting agreement up here. Not a whole lot being said between and among them. I think the reason is you don't go with anybody. You just go where there's a hole if you're the driver. If you're a spotter,
shows 14 laps. They're saying 13.
To let the guy know where
They're on
not
a commercial
to go.
right now
that
on TV.
Would be a virtually impossible task.
So right now, RCR up front, then it's Hendrick, then it's Gibbs, then it's 2311, then it's Collick, then it's Trackhouse. Not a whole lot of teammate thing going on. Chastain behind SVG, of course, another Trackhouse driver. Justin Haley, that's Spire. Team Penske with Blaney in 9th. Gregson, front row. So not a whole lot of teammate thing going on in the top 10 right now, or the chance for anything like that to happen at this point.
Yeah, I think even earlier we saw, even if you are teammates, it might not matter. Doug Turnbull, I know that cleanup happened in front of you with Austin Dillon. What's the racing surface looking like?
It does look okay over here, although it was dusty because the drivers over the second half of this race have put their right side tires on the exit of turn 6, and that's been kicking dirt.
They're all bunched together. You can see us on the track above.
The location where
that's
the Dillon
locators.
Hamlin confrontation happened in turn 6A, but behind me back between turns 2 and 3, some of those looks like from a distance here, Elgin sweepers are working on the driver's
still on the caution yellow above me here.
Very slowly as the field paces by them, so it'll be a little while before we get back restarted. Fortunately, with the Dillon crash, he didn't hit the barriers, didn't knock a whole lot onto the surface, so over there, it's really more hurt feelings than hurt anything else.
All right, Pat Patterson, I know your section of the circuit is pretty intense, especially as it comes into the stadium course. What are you seeing?
Well, a little bit of everything down here on this end of the racetrack. One thing that has happened is this sun is starting to set into the west as always, and you know what? That is going to be some bright sunshine on these windshields getting into turn at number 12, and the sun kind of stays with you over here currently into turn at number 13 as well. So a little bit of an issue there. The rest of it's pretty much shaded off. Racetrack is pretty well cooled down some from the initial start of this race, and they're racking them up now 2 by 2, and we'll get ready for a restart. But certainly, if you want to get this trophy out of Kyle Busch's hand right now, which he doesn't have his hand on it quite yet, but it's going to be a great
It's
battle
open
up front as they work their
Wonder
way.
who's going to take
turn
it, ladies and
number
gentlemen.
15. Once again, the lights are off on the pace car. Alex Hayden, I don't know.
Lights are off.
I don't know what to expect out of this restart, but I'm anticipating that it's going to be awfully crowded when they come back through our area of the racetrack here in just a few minutes.
They're bobbing and weaving, shaking their cars, getting them tires warmed up.
16, 17, and 18 essentially is where you don't mess it up because you have two golden opportunities to overtake.
And here's a look over
that
the
is under braking to
field
19
real quick.
and under braking in the final corner in turn number 20. We've seen it all day long. We may very well see it again. Kyle Busch, he opts to start the driver's left. Then you've got William Byron starting to driver's right. Second row is Christopher Bell on the inside and A.J. Allmendinger. Then you've got Tyler Reddick and Shane Van Gisbergen. Ross Chastain, Justin Haley, and back in row number 5, Ryan Blaney and Noah Gragson.
So here is Kyle Busch with William Byron beside him, leading the field slowly into the EchoPark Automotive restart zone. When they take the green flag, there'll be 13 laps to go. So
13
here
laps
is
to go,
Kyle
guys.
Busch. They start to work to the left, and just as the car
Hey,
straightens
Jack,
out, they
Kyle
hit that
Busch. You got Kyle
zone.
Busch?
NASCAR starter Greg
He's
Harris
led
has the green flag in
for
his hand. He's
31
waving it.
laps.
Up
Here
the
we go.
straightaway they go.
Let's see
Two
what
right
happens
through
here.
the first 6 rows.
I'd say the odds about 50-50.
Got the green flag
We'll
now.
make it through turn number 1 unscathed here again. 3 wide, 4 wide as usual coming up the hill. William Byron to the outside. Kyle
Wow.
Busch on the bottom. Busch will lead off turn number 1. Everybody so far smoothly down the hill and into turn 2.
Let's see who comes out with the lead. It looks like it's still Kyle Busch, as he's got a gaggle of hungry racers behind him there. Down into the S's here with that sun low in the sky. It goes Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, 2 car links back. William Byron gets by a 3rd, up to 4th. A.J. Allmendinger, Tyler Reddick is a 5th, as Bell sets up Kyle Busch in turn 6A. Busch holds him off. 2 wide, Reddick to the outside of Allmendinger, trying to work on that 4th spot.
Kyle Busch is off to a great start.
Trouble,
They
big
piled
pile
up.
up here in that turn 6A as one car, as the Ty Gibbs machine spins around. It looked like more cars piled in, but it stays green.
And here's the leader, Kyle Busch, through turn number 12, up to 13.
I think, yeah,
It's about
nothing
a car
bad. They're
length
back in it.
to the second place of Christopher Bell.
Ty Gibbs
William
is
Byron is there. A.J.
burning
Allmendinger
rubber,
is
getting
there.
back in it.
Shane Van Gisbergen trying to make a move on Tyler Reddick. Can't get anything done. Here's the leader again, Kyle Busch through turn number 15, up through the gearbox as they head to the bridge.
Kyle Busch trying to run away and hide from the rest of the field. Christopher Bell not letting that
Come
happen
on,
as
guys.
of yet. William Byron now
Jack's
begins
rooting
to
for
lose
Kyle
pace in
Busch.
third. Bumper cars
We got
further
any
back. 3 wide off turn
Christopher
number
Bell, Byron? Who we got?
went to the inside of Tyler Reddick. Ross Chastain was there, and Shane Van Gisbergen able to pick up a spot. They continue to race wheel to wheel to 20.
It'll be 12 laps to go this time by as the field hits the front straightaway. Kyle Busch only a car length ahead of Christopher Bell. Then it's William Byron.
Wow,
AJ
they're running up
Allmendinger,
in the grass
and a
there.
battle for fifth.
Just 2 car lengths of separation as they come up to the top of the hill, all the way down to first gear. Kyle Busch leads. Chris Bell is right on his back bumper. Busch protects
he's
the
right
bottom.
there.
Bell looks high. Now Busch moves up to block, and they are nose to tail.
And they are still nose to tail as they head into the S's with a headlight put to the right by Christopher Bell. Kyle Busch thwarts that advance. There's only a car length or less between them.
Let's
it's
go.
4 car lengths back to third place.
Boogie
William
boogie.
Byron as AJ
Christopher
Allmendinger
Bell is
got
right
into
on
the
him,
4th
guys.
spot. Up front, Kyle Busch guides it into 6A. Looks very
Turn for
smooth
turn.
exiting it. Into the short chute he goes as he brings Christopher Bell with him. Still a car length apart.
Top 5 cars have got a good bit of separation. The closest battle, you got to go back there where Noah Gragson is alongside Ross Chastain, who mows the yard out in the grass.
He mows the yard.
Spots there. Meanwhile, up front,
He went mowing the
turn
grass.
number 13 comes Kyle Busch. A half a car length back is Chris
Yep.
Bell. 3 car lengths back to William Byron. Then you look, it's A.J. Allmendinger. Those cars racing down to the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 15. Now up through the gearbox once again. Only a half a car separates first and second.
Solid
Wow.
race here in the closing laps of this one.
Man, they're
Kyle Busch
bumping and grinding through these turns
further
too.
back. It is full contact racing.
They are.
Chastain, Shane Van Gisbergen, Chase Elliott in the mix, Todd Gilliland,
They're
Alex
knocking each other around
trading paint all the way through.
all the way down.
If they get through turn number 19 without a mark on the car, it'll be a miracle. They make it through the corner.
There's plenty
now
of marks
set
on
up
that
for
one.
turn number 20 as they race back to the sunshine.
Chris Adams, let's go, AJ.
That battle way behind the leaders.
Sitting in
Chastain
4,
now
let's go,
leading
AJ.
as we Door to door.
Man, they're trading paint like crazy.
As they work up to one.
And several of those drivers in the most recent caution came in and got fresh tires. Those who did not are in trouble. The leaders now are again in turn 2.
And that leader is still Kyle Busch. Christopher Bell, very aggressive, getting right next to him there. Coming through turn 2 and 3. He's caught him in the S's. Christopher Bell is right up to the rear bumper of Kyle Busch for the lead.
Ooh, can't get around him.
Turn 6 of the lead. Bell's going to diamond out, angle to the inside, put a nose inside, and can't quite make the pass. Kyle Busch
he's not going to get around
and
him.
William Byron closes in 3rd.
Here comes Christopher Bell. He is after that lead from Kyle Busch. They'll race hard into turn number 12. Here's Busch down through the gearbox. He'll make his move up off the corner as he heads to 13. Bell not able to do anything with him in turn 12. Here they come into 13. Can Bell make any kind of progress there? No.
Close.
Look a little further back. There's William Byron. Those top 3 cars
SVG
have really
dropped back to
10th,
10th, guys.
Allmendinger. Here comes the leader once again.
Wow.
Kyle Busch up off of turn number 15 to the EchoPark Bridge.
William Byron, AJ, Tyler Reddick.
The red and white rumble strips goes the leader, Kyle Busch. Following in his
11 laps. 11 laps to go.
William Byron keeps pace in 3rd, albeit 6 car lengths in arrears. In now, turn number 19. Top 3, gap A.J. Allmendinger, who looks in the mirror and sees now a challenge coming up on the back bumper for that number 4 position, courtesy of Tyler Reddick.
2 drivers who have been denied at Circuit of the Americas over the past few seasons. Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell will chase each other up the hill, but don't look now. Last year's winner, William Byron, close in 3rd.
He's certainly lurking, and he's now closing. He's narrowed that gap between himself and second place Christopher Bell to just a handful of car lengths. Bell once again goes to work on Kyle Busch as Busch wiggles inside, outside, trying to maintain that lead.
Kyle Larson's car is spun on the racetrack and is stopped for now, but the leaders are in the S's. As we see Kyle Busch just shimming right over the rumble strips here through turns 3, 4, 5, and up over turn 6. Bell's going to try to pass him again. He closes in. He breaks later, but Kyle Busch exits wide and keeps the lead through the short chute over to 6B with William Byron 4 car lengths behind.
Credit Chris Bell with not getting into the quarter panel of Kyle Busch.
How did he not do that?
And he didn't. Now they work into 12. Here's once again Christopher Bell just right off the bumper of Kyle Busch. They'll head to turn number 13.
He's pushing him hard, too.
William Byron has now firmly gotten into this mix.
Byron's right behind them.
Only about a car length and a half separate second and third. Here's once again the leader down into turn number 15. Kyle Busch working his car hard over to the left, back up through the
fight to the finish, guys. They're kicking up dirt too. Hitting the edge of the track.
Still nose to tail, first and second. Playing the role of Pac-Man is 3rd place, William Byron. He's gobbling up the real estate, beginning to close in on that lead duo now.
Hammer down.
Braking in turn number 19.
Can Busch hold it off, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know who you're rooting for in chat. Who will hold it off?
Kyle Busch will lead them to that final turn, cuts that hard left-hand turn, uses up as much racetrack as he can. He continues to hold Bell off. 9 laps to go here at Kota.
On the run to the end of stage 2,
Kota.
Bell was good for the first several laps of that run, and he close to the back bumper of Busch. Busch, however, was good at the end. Almost gets into the back end of Busch, and Bell has to lock up the grinders. That opens the inside lane. Looks like Bell and Byron will race side by side out of turn 2 for second.
As Kyle Busch scoots away, last week's winner Christopher Bell was
stretching it out now.
He's holding on for dear life to second place. Here comes the Raptor Chevy. Claws out. William Byron in 3rd. Climbing into sitting in the hill at turn 6.
Byron's fighting him for it now.
Downshifting a little bit does Byron. Braking a little later does he as well. But Bell will stay in second. Kyle Busch a 3-car length lead.
Kyle Busch exits 6B.
9 to go, ladies and gentlemen. 9 laps to go. Who do you got? Who you got?
William Byron trying to get up to that second place battle with Christopher Bell. Bell has got about a 4 to 5 car length space between he and the leader. Here once again, Kyle Busch through turn number 13, hammers back down, touches that rumble strip in the turn number 14. Now to turn 15. Back to the left, hard as he can go. Chris Bell is there, and William Byron is all over the 20 car.
A little breathing room now for race leader Kyle Busch, if you can call 3.5 car lengths that much breathing space. Busch will take it, however. Bell, after the misfortunate overdrive of turn number 1 that Rob Albright described perfectly is on the rebound now. He's now beginning to run back down the race leader, Kyle Busch.
It'll be 8 laps to go this time by as they exit turn number 20. Kyle Busch, the advantage over Christopher Bell is 0.2 seconds, 1.2 to William Byron. Tyler Reddick was the fastest on the track, but he's 3.9 seconds back.
I just have to wonder if perhaps Christopher Bell locking up those brakes may not have flat spotted the tires. He's still in about a 4-car length deficit so far, not able to narrow it any more than that. A similar margin back to the third-place car of Byron, 8-car lengths back to Tyler Reddick.
And it's still about equal separation between the top 3. That's Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, and William Byron. They're the ones in the fight right now as they go through the S's. Christopher Bell gets to him a little better and more aggressively than the leader Busch does as Busch kicks up some dirt exiting turn 6. Bell gets right up to his rear bumper again.
8 laps to go.
Tries it again at 6B, but Kyle Busch still with a 1-car length lead.
Christopher Bell tries to narrow that up between he and Kyle Busch. Into turn 12 they go. Hard left-hand corner. Down through the gearbox. Now back up one shift as they work their way up to 13. Let the car out to driver's left. Now back over to the right in 13. Bell is there. Half a car length back. But he slides his car through that curb, through that corner just a moment ago.
Wow.
Here's the leader. Kyle Busch, once again, through 16, only about a half a car length separate them. 3 car lengths back to the third place of William Byron.
Very deliberate with his racing line through turn 16 is Kyle Busch. Even better is second place Christopher Bell. He chops off another half car length. Oh, Bell gets over the rumble strips. Car dances sideways. He gathers it
Watching
right
from
back
Tampa,
up.
go AJ, Chris. Welcome, my friend.
As Christopher Bell gathers it back up a car length behind.
AJ fans, AJ is in 5th.
Laps better than Kyle Busch, and as they work their way out of turn 20, they flash across.
Here, I'm going to drop this
now
to the top 10 above us
and
here,
William
guys.
Byron losing just a bit of ground to the 2 up front. Here comes Bell. He'll take a peek to the inside, get to the top of the hill. Turning left is Kyle Busch. He'll block Bell. Bell moves now to the outside, now back to the inside. Kyle Busch every which way, hanging on to the race lead.
Looks like they nudged each other a little bit.
It's hard to pass, but Bell is trying every way around. He goes outside, then inside, looking at turn 3. Gets right at Busch's tire shots here through turns 4 and 5. William Byron's going to be close again. Now Christopher Bell, he darts to Busch's right. Now he looks to his left, a diamond, that 6A corner. Gets right up.
Bell is wanting it bad.
Busch just tagged the outside wall, but stays in the lead.
Kyle Busch doing all he can to hold that 20 car back. Down the back straight they come into turn 12. If either one of these 2 guys in front make a mistake, William Byron is going to drive right by him. He is right on their bumper now. Here comes Bell to the inside. Can't quite make the move. Now he will get alongside Kyle Busch. They get alongside for only a moment. Kyle Busch pulls back in front. We're down to turn 15 now. Here comes Bell one more time. Can't make the pass, but he challenged in both of those corners.
He's fighting.
And once again, William Byron closes in.
Let's see now if Christopher Bell or William Byron set Kyle Busch up here on the exit of turn number 17. They go through the kink in 18. Not quite close enough to pounce. Christopher Bell maintains his spot. A good solid car length in arrears of race leader Kyle Busch. The trio up front stay that way to 20.
As they hit turn number 20, the only thing keeping Kyle Busch out front is the fact that he's been running near perfect laps. If he makes a mistake, Christopher Bell is going to be there. If they both make a mistake, William Byron could capitalize.
And Kyle Busch knows one thing about Christopher Bell. C-Bell will not go over the top to try to beat him. He's not going to wreck him to win this race.
Florida, welcome, Vikings Wildcat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for subscribing, my friend.
I might make it a quartet.
As Christopher Bell looks to Kyle Busch's right, they go down the hill into the S's. They are too wide. They touch. There's smoke coming out of Busch's car. Bell has to back off and recoil again at turn 5.
He almost got him.
Right up to
they
him.
tapped for a second.
He's going to try him again here. Turn 6. He dives into the corner. Kyle Busch, though, smooth off of it, staying in the lead there, hoping that winless streak comes to an end.
Oh, Christopher Bell trying to make up a little bit of ground he might have lost there. Didn't really lose a whole lot. Into turn 12.
They're 1, 2, 3 guys. They're right there together. Look at their times.
This is where Bell made a move earlier, and he got right alongside of Kyle Busch. Can't do it this time by. William Byron is right there, and you're right, Tyler Reddick is almost right in the middle of this fight as well. Down into 15, here comes Christopher Bell, side by side. He gets into Busch. They're side by side for the lead as they hit the bridge.
Wow.
William Byron.
Back to the corner.
Oh!
Gains the lead. Then Christopher Bell puts
They're
the
rubbing,
on Byron.
trading
He
paint.
goes on full court press now on the race leader, Kyle Busch.
Full court
Can't
press.
make it happen. Kyle Busch making that black and gold Chevrolet very wide. Now off turn number 19 again, Christopher Bell. He's there. A quarter panel alongside, side by side for the lead.
As they work out of turn 20, heading on to the front stretch. Bell has the inside, a car length lead to the inside. Kyle Busch, though, tries to draw even as they head to one.
Does the wily veteran have a move in hand in turn number one? Let's see. Bell gets there first.
Bell gets around him for a second.
Kyle Busch can't get
Busch is getting back in front.
Outside lane to William Byron as those three run nose to tail.
Wow.
Down the hill,
Bell gets in front.
Now it's
He's in the lead for
William
now.
Byron and Kyle Busch as Bell scoots away through the S's. Move Byron now into the second spot over Busch. And here comes Tyler Reddick in fourth. It's a three-car battle for second. Almost a four-car battle for the lead.
Busch dropped to third.
Into turn 6A. Bell almost misses a corner in 6A. He does. Here comes
Bell is stretching out his lead now.
Big mistake by Christopher Bell. Now we got ourselves a four-car pack heading into turn number 12. Bell out front. Kyle Busch trying to
we get 15 likes, guys. Thank you for those likes.
Reddick. William Byron says, just let me get to the inside. He tries to get to the inside in 13. Byron's going to get door-to-door with Christopher Bell. They stay locked together. Byron hits the dirt. Here comes Bell into 15 now.
Let's go, Bell.
Christopher Bell making a hard...
Can he hold it? Oh!
William Byron
they're rubbing.
Now Kyle Busch gets alongside the 24.
If you're not enjoying this one, I don't know what else to tell you. Christopher Bell has the lead. William Byron has second by a nose. Now Kyle Busch slips back.
3 laps.
Is there.
Almost 3 laps.
Reddick will take over the number 3 spot. Kyle Busch backs away from the throttle. He'll fall in line and fall to the number 4 spot. It's Christopher Bell, the race leader.
Last year, Christopher Bell needed just a few more laps if he was going to beat eventual winner William Byron. Now with 4 laps to go, it's Bell in the lead. He's being chased by Byron, Reddick, and Kyle Busch.
Noah Gregson has used fresh tires to take over the straightaway back of the race leaders. Bell's lead now as he approaches turn number 1 down through the gears. Very cautious this time. That enables Byron to narrow that gap to 2 car lengths right behind him. It is still Tyler Reddick and Kyle Busch not out of this yet.
Still plenty of places to make mistakes here. Christopher Bell did on the last lap as soon as he got the lead, but he's kept it in check as he goes through the S's, down the hill now, downshifting to second gear, and eventually to first in 6A. It's Christopher Bell and William Byron, the last 2 winners. Tyler Reddick is third, and the guy with a 59-race winless streak, Kyle Busch,
sliding a little bit on these turns.
The leader exits 6B.
Christopher Bell now on the backstretch, giving these fans in this stadium part of the course a real thrill this afternoon. All 4 of these guys up front. Here's Bell into turn 12. Gets back through the gear. Headed uphill to 13. Behind him by 3 car lengths is William Byron. Tyler Reddick is there as well. Kyle Busch now dropping back out of this 3-way battle for the lead. Down into turn number 15 they go. It's Christopher Bell up front in that 20 car. Half a car length back to the 24 car of William Byron. Then it's Tyler Reddick under the bridge.
And it's Christopher Bell pedaling as hard as he can at the front of the field. He's got William Byron 4 car lengths behind. Then Tyler Reddick. All 3 drivers, cars skating all over the racetrack.
They're sliding.
Braking now. Dirt flies in the air with the left side. Goodyear's getting in the grass. Christopher Bell opens up another.
They're giving it everything they got, guys. These tires are getting slick now.
Stretch, 3 laps to go. Kyle Busch used everything up trying to hold off Christopher Bell. He's fading in the 4th spot as the leaders go back to 1.
William Byron in the rocking chair. He's right in the middle. He's got to play both offense and defense in these last couple of laps. He's trying to close the gap on Bell. At the same time, he's got to keep an eye on
Bell's stretching it out now.
Tyler Reddick is waiting to just pounce if the opportunity presents.
Full shade on this part of the
Mike,
course now.
welcome to the channel, my friend. Thank you for subscribing.
Makes the
Hope you're having an amazing
very
day.
Smoothly in turn 3, right-hander at 4, over the rumble strips to the left at 5, and he's got about a 3-car length lead over Byron.
3 laps to go.
And you got to wonder if Byron is cooling his jets a little bit to make one last advance. It's just a couple of laps to go. Christopher Bell exits with the lead off 6B.
Here comes the 20 car down the backstretch. He'll work his way to the left now. Over for
any Christopher Bell fans in chat, let me know.
And back up the gearbox, kind of blows the corner a little bit in 12, not a little bit, a lot. He's opened the door once again for the 24
Busch
car.
is falling further back.
Here comes Byron, and Reddick is right there ready to pounce if either one of these 2 make a mistake. Into 15, Bell can't hold his car.
Busch led it for 37 laps, too.
So as they race up through the gearbox again to the EchoPark Bridge.
Christopher Bell has worn the rear tires down. The back end of the car is
He's
loose.
sliding.
He's doing a masterful job of maintaining control. William Byron is there. Tyler Reddick is there. They stand on the brakes for the left-hand turn, number 19. Bell will give up a little more as the car wiggles more. Here comes William Byron taking a peek to the inside.
Hearing Kyle Busch has an issue with the right rear after door slamming Christopher Bell. He is fading more, but right now Bell leads William Byron. 2 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas.
Christopher
2
Bell
laps.
hanging on by his fingernails over William Byron. Byron will not put a wheel wrong. This time he takes a quick peek to the inside, now goes to the high side, trying to confuse Bell as to which line he might use in an effort to get around. Tyler Reddick just waiting for the opportunity.
There's some that may be watching from TV, so I'm not sure
Byron
they
trying to
see
look
it
at
a lot of
Christopher
times
Bell
too,
again.
Kenneth.
Bell keeps him about a half car length behind. Byron tried anything left in his toolbox. He's going left and right, trying to find a way around Christopher Bell. Joe Gibbs Racing was winless the second half of last season. Christopher Bell in that JGR Toyota looking to go for 2 in a row here, but it's far from over as William Byron is right behind.
There we go.
Turn 16.
Boogity, boogity,
The
boogity.
front three
Who's going to
separated
get it?
by only about a car length and a half. Here comes Bell once again into turn 12.
It's going to be an exciting finish here, guys. Stay with us. We hit 20 likes. Thank you, guys. Keep smashing that like button. We'll keep bumping it up.
Make a move to the inside of William Byron. Can't make it happen. Nose to tail, they go through 14. The leader drives down into number 15. A hard left-hand corner. Once again, Bell with a nice, smooth move this time. Doesn't give up any ground to second or
on
third.
the graphic ball, they're stretching it out.
Number 16 here in Texas. If you've got anything left,
Kota, here we are.
the table and go all in.
2
Right
laps
now,
to go, guys.
Bell has the lead. He maintains a car length and a half on William Byron. Same from Byron back to third place. Tyler Reddick. Everybody sizing each other up.
They are hammering it.
He works his way through turn 20, hard left-hand turn, a lot of racetrack. He uses up on the outside. The white flag is out. Christopher Bell trying to hold on for 1 more lap.
Only 2 miles to go for C. Bell.
2 miles to go. Can C. Bell hold it out?
Navigate down through the gearbox.
Boy,
Fourth
God,
to third
good
to
job,
second.
guys.
Now to
Thank you
first
for those
gear
likes.
in turn 1. Half a car length back is Byron. Another half a car length back is Tyler Reddick.
Don't sleep on Tyler Reddick as they come down the hill through turn number
Tyler.
2. Reddick with the winner of this race 2 years ago. Byron the winner last year. They are shopping at the bit to get around.
Let's
Chris
go.
Bell, who's leading, going through the S's right now. Bell has stretched it out to 2 car lengths over Byron. Let's see how Byron approaches turn 6A. He's going to get on the brakes harder. He's going to dive a little
Who
bit.
you guys
to the
got?
inside
Any,
there.
any Bell fans in chat? Let us know.
Again, still 2 car lengths to lead ahead. Third place.
Will the
is
real
Tyler
C.
Reddick.
Bell stand up? Stand
Bell,
up.
perhaps for the final time today, down the backstretch and into turn 12. We're getting ready to see if Rubbin is racing at Kota today. Here comes
Next Sunday,
Bell,
we
up
should
to
be
13.
streaming the
William
race here
Byron
as
is
well.
in position.
Kenneth?
Can he get to the bumper? Will he get to the bumper? Will he move him? Close to doing it.
They're
in
right.
Turn number 13. Now down to 15. Once again, Byron's going to have a shot. He sets up to the outside. Bell holds the inside. Here comes Christopher Bell. And here comes William Byron. Tries to make a move underneath the bridge.
Byron is there. Tyler Reddick waits to see if these two take each other out. Toyota, Chevrolet Toyota at the front of the field for the final time.
Final lap, guys. Final lap.
Under braking. William Byron goes to driver's right. He's going to try to cross over on the exit of 19. Bell is up to the challenge. Christopher Bell the leader, but here comes Byron in 20.
It's the final corner of the EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. A Sooner trying to come to Austin to take away a trophy. Christopher Bell gets on the gas hard. He will win here at Circuit of the Americas.
C. Bell.
The EchoPark Automotive Grand Prix. William Byron, your second place finisher, followed by Tyler Reddick.
There they are. He takes the checkered. C. Bell, guys.
Christopher Bell comes on
Christopher
late
Bell.
and gets the victory.
Wow.
He missed out on
Amazing
barely a year
stuff,
ago.
guys.
Chase Elliott, a man who made a late race pit
He is
stop,
doing the
got fresh
burnout.
tires,
Chris Adams,
drove all the
Steve
way
Bell
up to
took
front.
it.
He passes
Byron
Kyle Busch. In the
second,
final
Reddick
corner
third,
on the last
Elliott
lap to finish
fourth,
Kyle
and Busch fifth.
The rest of our top
We
10,
will
Shane
bring
Van Gisbergen,
next
Chris
Sunday
Buescher,
as
Noah
well
Gragson,
in Phoenix,
Alex
guys.
Bowman, and Todd
So be sure to
Gilliland.
subscribe, like,
Let's pause 10
be back
seconds
here
for
again,
station
guys.
identification from Austin. This is PRN,
This
the
was
performance.
Kota in Austin, guys. So great race, guys. A lot of fun. Those of you guys new here, Kimbronator here, thank you for that. Keep liking it. we got more races coming to you guys. So thank you for that. C-Bell, here's the rundown look of everybody here. That is the position everybody wound up in. So how about that, ladies and gentlemen? How about those? Man, what a race. What a race. Chris, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Unfortunately, guys, I got to run on. I usually like to kind of catch some of the interviews after, but I have a work call to actually go jump on. So I got some stuff I got to do. So more content coming. I'm getting back into it. NASCAR season's on us. Thank you for subscriptions. We got more coming, guys. More coming. This is exciting time. Let's follow it. My first full year to follow NASCAR all the way through here on this channel. And we'll possibly cover some UFL football, some other stuff as well, baseball, all your sports guys, stuff, guys. Thank you for stopping here, and we'll see you guys here very soon. Y'all have a great one. I love you guys, and do what you do and do it well.